Hello, everyone. It's William here at Allegory Gallery. How are you all doing today? Um, I'm sorry, I have no comments on here again, so I'm going to be looking over here quite a lot to check out comments. Our friend Susie's here. Hello, Susie. Thanks for joining us. Um, we also have a number of people chatting on YouTube. Thank you for being here. Danette is here, says hi everyone. Marianne is here, says hi AG Bead fam. It is finally not really cold here. Today was 3 degrees Celsius. Warming up, warming up. Here is cold and it's windy. It is currently, my watch says 25 degrees. 23 is the low for today, so we're almost at our low. It's 25 degrees. Um, it's cold outside and it is insanely windy. It has been windy all day long. We have had some family members, uh, one of their um, what's it called? Shingles. Shingles blew off their roof, and then more started blowing. Like once one starts, then there's this cascading effect. So they were out trying to stop that. We almost pretty much gathered up the whole family and went over to help, but they figured it out. Um, so we didn't have to do that, but they said they're safe for now. They're going to have some repairs done once the storm is over, as soon as they can. Anyway, we are apparently supposed to get sleet here. Probably around now. I checked it a little while ago and it said within about 35 minutes we were possibly going to get sleet. So that's not great. Um, and it's supposed to rain slash snow at various points through the night. The wind advisory, or warning actually, it's stronger than an advisory, is not over until 1 a.m. this morning, this coming morning, I believe. And it is very windy. I went up to the cottage a few times to check on things. Thankfully, everything is okay. Um, so that's good news. But yeah, it's been a wild ride today. Uh, I went up to the cottage a few times, check on things, just make sure everything was okay. But I did not stay up there very long because I did not want to get stuck up there. Sometimes when the trees blow down on the roads, it almost makes it impossible for us to get home. So it was a number of quick trips today. I did not get much done up there simply because I did not want to be up there very long, just in case the trees started falling down on the roads. And just a little bit ago, we heard some of our neighbors, someone um, was out with a chainsaw. So I don't know if a tree fell across the road or, I mean, it was dark. And it seems weird that somebody would be chopping a tree down when it's dark, but maybe it fell across the road or fell onto someone's house or was about to. I don't know. But I heard chainsaws going out there. I don't know, Susie, if you know anything about that or what's going on with that. But that was not a great noise to hear. So we hope everybody's okay out there. Um, let's see. Danette says it started out warm here, but a front came through and it is so windy and the temperature dropped about 40 degrees. Yeah, our high today was 61 and we dropped down to 25. So almost 40 degrees drop, um, which is wild, right? Wild. 30, what, 37, 38 to 36 degree drop, something like that. Anyway, yeah, wild. It is cold. The wind is blowing through the house. Like you can feel at the windows. Like our windows are locked and they're relatively new. When we bought our house, the windows were relatively new, I guess. So they're not like old, but the wind is just, you can, if you stand by a window, you can just kind of feel the cool air coming through. It's wild. Um, and it's very windy. So if you're out there and out and about, or you plan to go out and about at any point, please be careful. It is it is possibly very dangerous. I was going to go up to the cottage one more time tonight, and Andrew was like, "No, it's dark. You're not going because there could be trees down, and you don't need to run into a tree that you don't see in the middle of the night." not in the middle of the night, but in the dark. So I did not go back up again. Let's see. Pam's here. Hello, Pamela. I don't know if you go by Pam or Pamela. I always say Pam because we have another Pamela that comes in and is Pam, and it's just habit. So sorry if I'm naming, but Pamela, that's what it says here. So that's what I'll use for now until I know better. Um, it said missed the first part, but yeah, the winds have been wild today. Yes, they have. Absolutely wild. And I think a lot of people are experiencing this from what I understand. I don't know how far the wind is stretching, but a lot of people are getting a lot of wind, I think. So he says, no, I've been home since around 4 o'clock. Yeah, we just heard it probably about 20 minutes ago or so, maybe 30 minutes, 40 minutes. I don't know. I've been losing track of time, but I heard chainsaws out. It sounded like it was coming from the back of our house, somewhere back that way. So I don't know. You may not have heard it because it may have been just kind of out that way. Maybe we just heard it because we were in the back side of the house. Um, Let's see. Norma says, oops, sorry. Comment skipped. Those rapid changes from warmish to coldish are not fun, Danette, says Marianne. No, they are not. Norma's here, says we dropped from 71 yesterday to 23 today. We also had a small earthquake. Oh my goodness. I don't think we got into the 70s. We were in the 60s, but yeah, an earthquake? That's crazy. It's crazy. Um, Marianne said small earthquakes, just weird, right? Dennis says it's 23 degrees here in Salzburg. Yeah, right now it says 25 on my watch here in Ligonier. It's wild. Marianne says, sorry to send you the cold weather. Yeah, stop it, Marianne. Stop it. Norma says we also had strong winds with gusts up to 50 miles an hour. Yeah, I don't know what our gusting was right now, but it has been like the house is shaking. That's why I put this notification up earlier, saying as long as we still have power. Apparently up in Moxham, some of the shops lost power. I don't know if our building lost power or not. Um, I don't know if our tenant was home, so I didn't hear. But some of the shops closed early on our on not our block, but the block right across the street, because they lost power today. So um, it was apparently very windy up there as well. Someone I know up in Johnstown that lives in Moxham, they were asking who took my satellite dish, the dish network, this, the little satellite dishes. And other people were like, it probably blew away. So apparently it was very windy up in Johnstown as well. Um, let's see here. Dennis says, I agree with Andrew. You don't need to go back to the cottage tonight. Yeah, I was gonna run up and do some things and do one last check, but he's like, no, not at night. There's no point. Marion says, I had some appointments this afternoon scheduled for 2:40 and 3 p.m. Tests were finished by 2:38. That's good. That's good. Um, it's always good when you finish early, right? Especially before your scheduled time. That's a nice thing. Pamela says, yes, I prefer Pamela. Okay, I will try and lock that in. I do my best for sure. I've always been like that. I had friends even back in high school, I had friends whose last names, like, nobody spelled right, nobody pronounced right. Um, and I always made it a point to try to make sure that I could spell their names. And I mean, some of these were just acquaintances, not like good friends. It was just like people in my classes but if I talked to them often enough, I always tried to make a point to be able to, spell their names, say their names the correct way. Even if it was like we had some people who their names were not spelled anything like what you think they would sound like. Um, but uh, I always tried to make a point to say them right and spell them right. Sorry, I just had a brain like drop out because I just had a little deja vu right there, which was very strange. Maybe I've talked about that before. I don't know, but it was like that exact kind of sentence I remember saying, not kind of that exact sentence I remember saying before. Um, and the thoughts that went with it, which is like I'm having deja vu, like that was in the deja. It's so weird. Um, Marianne says, I am the same, William. Yeah, I think it's important to, you know, to call people by their name, right? And what and know, how to spell it if you're on friendly terms with them or and it goes through a lot of things too, right? Um so if somebody wants to be Pam or Pamela, or because I also grew up as William, but people often called me Bill. Um, I have never gone by Bill. And that's a whole thing because my dad has always gone by Bill. And so, like, I don't know what I would do if somebody called my dad William. Like, that's so weird to me to even think about. He's just always been Bill, to everybody, my whole life. And then there were parts in time that, my dad had some issues and I didn't get along with him very well. And so Bill was like, it just grated on me if somebody called me Bill, because I'm like, that's my dad, that's not me. So for a while I went by William or Will. And um, the in my in my Spanish classes, I was, Guillaume is the equivalent of William. Well, Guillermo is the Spanish equivalent. Guillaume is the French equivalent of William. And my friends in my Spanish class call me Guy. We shortened that from Guillermo to Guy. So I was just kind of Will in that too. So I went by that for a while with some people, but um, it always made me think about other people and what they wanted. And so I try my best to remember these things. Susie, hello. Thank you for joining us today. Hope you're doing better. I saw that you're you're uh, Tylenol free for the first day, I think you said. I don't know if that was today. I saw that on Facebook. I don't know if it was a today post, but I do hope you're feeling better. Um, and that your chiropractor is still helping out with your back. Um, yeah, so that is, that's been the kind of day today. So I did some things here at the house. I had prepared about a week ago, I had taken some pictures of some of Harry's items. Many of you know Harry Wood, if you watch these very often. And I took some pictures of his items because I had planned to put them in the online store. And we had planned to do a bigger debut, making a whole kind of section for him, because we have a number of his pieces that we have shown on the lives. We still have a number of them available. And I was going to bring some into the store, and we were going to make a bigger deal of it. But the more that time went on, the more I was just like, I just really want to. Um, I just really want to get some of these things online, because they're beautiful and I don't want them sitting around. And we only showed most of them on a live, maybe one or two. And so I took some pictures of them last weekend, in between the classes and things that I had. And I posted about 16 items um, yesterday. No, today. I posted 16 of them today and made a little collection for Harry's items in our online store and put them in the shop menu. So you can take a look at that if you love Harry's items and you've missed some of the lives where we've shown some of his things. I picked some of my favorites, to be completely honest, for this debut. And so we have more, and more will be coming over time. The collection will grow, but for now, at least, we have some things of Harry's on the website now. We have items of his in the physical store, and we do lives every once in a while of his items. So, um, yeah, that's what we do. We have a bunch of his things in the window at the store right now, um, but I need to switch those out and kind of switch things up a little bit. Andrew says, I talk about the winds of change and we get a windstorm. I know. Andrew's been talking about the winds of change and the wind at his back. And if you've been reading his posts, and we get a gigantic windstorm now. So that is, we'll blame Andrew for this. How about that? How about that? Oh, look, my comments came up here. How nice! How nice of them to show up so early in the broadcast. We went 3 hours yesterday, and they never, not yesterday, on Friday, and they never showed up. Um, Pamela says, haha, Andrew, right? Suzanne is here. Hello, Suzanne. Thanks for joining us. Andrew says, I think it'd be great to have some of Harry's larger work in the shop in his own section to make shipping easier. In the physical shop, yes, the larger stuff is hard to ship. So mostly I didn't put larger stuff. I do have an angel figurine that I put in the online store because I wanted a little bit. I put some of his dishes in there, some of his figurines, not too many, 2 dishes, 2 figurines, and the rest of them were pendants. But I wanted a diverse, so people can see that he does other things than just pendants. But the other things are harder to ship, for sure, for sure. And it's nice if they're in the shop. In the shop right now, in the window, I have a number of his figurines. A lot of them were from Easter time-ish. Easter time? I don't know if they were Easter time. I'm trying to think. But they were, I guess they're rabbits. So I think of them from Easter time, but it doesn't necessarily mean they were Easter time. Harry makes us some rabbits every once in a while. But some of them are bigger, and some of his biggest ones that we have are in the shop right now. And I think I have a few of his kind of altar-like pieces in there that are a little bit bigger. So yeah, we do bring some into the physical shop and have some of his pendants, mostly skull pendants right now in the physical shop. And then I just put some things in the online store. And let's see, Susie says, yes, the chiropractor has been great. He comes to the house, which is wonderful. That's amazing. Yeah. I haven't needed any meals today until a few moments ago, or meds today until a few moments ago. Took Motrin and Tylenol. Nice. That's good. It means it's easing up. But, sometimes it's good to keep the meds in you even when you don't need, I don't know why I'm telling you, right? But because, you don't want to twist it up earlier than you and then have to go back to full treatment. Suzanne says, I saw that. Great idea to have a space for Harry. I think so. And I think my comments have started to stop now. Just when I congratulated StreamYard on actually providing comments, they have stopped coming through. So let me go back over here. Suzanne says, we got gale force winds today. Yeah, I don't know what force winds we've got, but they have been blowing, like Andrew was saying. He's like, it sounds like the house is moving. Like it's it's pretty intense around here right now. Norma says, Andrew, did you manifest this weather? Marion says, manifesting gone wrong. Who knows? Maybe we're just blowing away the bad energy, right? Blow that bad energy away. Whatever we got to do. Maybe no hurricanes, no tornadoes, but as long as nobody's out there getting hurt, let's blow away that bad energy. I'm all for that. No problem. Yeah, so what have we been up to? We've been a weekend. It's always weird to me when Monday comes around because I have been working all weekend. So sometimes I think I just talked with you all like yesterday because I can't remember 2 days ago. But 2 days ago is when on Friday when we did the last live. So I don't remember the days in between either and what I did. But we had some people come in for class yesterday at the shop. Um, I'm trying to think. What happened Saturday at the shop? I don't think anyone came in Saturday. Friday, was I there Friday? I can't remember, y'all. I feel like I didn't go Friday. It was Friday? I don't know. I honestly don't know. All I know is yesterday, That's wild that I don't know what I did on Friday. I know there was an ice storm, but I think that was last weekend, wasn't it? Or was that this weekend? Um, anyway, it feels like it was a long time ago. Maybe it wasn't so long ago. Saturday, it was a slow day. Saturday was a slow day. Marianne knows, says you did not brave the roads on Friday. Okay, so that was this Friday. I feel like that was like a Friday ago, like a week ago. Um, so that's wild. So yeah, Friday I was not at the shop. That makes sense because I don't remember what I did there. Saturday was very slow. No one came into the shop, so I took some pictures of things and got some things organized and started working on the Beat in the New Year calendar. So that's exciting. Stay tuned for that. That's going to happen sometime. We're going to debut that sometime soon. Um, if you have any input on some prompts you would like for Beat in the New Year or have anything that you would like to see on the calendar, maybe you've been like waiting to work on something and you need that little push, let us know. Still looking for ideas for the Beat in the New Year calendar. We still have a few spots if you'd like to get something included in there. Um, Susan, hey Susan, says it's been hard keeping track of days lately. Been staying home more and being introspective. Yeah, I've been staying home. No, I've not. I only stayed home once because of the weather. And I still went up to the cottage. So, um, I'd like to say that I've been doing that. I should be doing that, but it helps my mental attitude to leave the house once a day if I can. Some days I feel like I do need to stay in, but there are days that I feel like I have to push myself out the door because I get too anxious inside. I'm like, I have to be out and get my brain off of everything that's going on inside. Um, Susan says, trying to sort through all my beads, but need to chase a cat off the counter. He is going to steal a loaf of bread. That's cute, but not. Um, our cats have been a little naughty lately, kind of very naughty lately, but we yeah, they've been pretty naughty. Every time I sit down to do some work, they gather around. One Barnaby usually tries to get in my lap. Gertie and Barnaby kind of vie for that position because Gertie will come down and annoy Barnaby enough that he leaves, and then she will think about sitting in my lap, but then not really. She doesn't really want to, so she just kind of stands around on the keyboard instead and does that. And then Ida Bell will sometimes sit beside me. She's usually pretty good. Tallulah, um, she's a long-haired cat, so when she like the cats jump on the table and jump over things and knock things over usually, but they're pretty, the most of them are pretty careful. Like they step over things or like contort their bodies around. Tallulah, I think, just has like less chance of missing things. That's a nice way to put it. So she knocks a lot of things around and knocks things over because I think she just doesn't realize like her fur is long hair and it knocks more things over than the other cats. So she was plowing her way through the table today. So I had to clear off the table a little bit because it was getting to be a little distracting. And yeah, the girls the boys do not generally jump too much up on the table. We had them trained very well, mostly not to be on the tables. And then the girls like are untrainable. And so they have been on the table. And then the boys are like, well, if they can be on the table, we're older. We should be allowed on the table. And then they get on the table too. So these are just at least craft tables and work tables. Um, so we're not eating food there, but um, yeah, it's still annoying. So they've been doing that. They've been a little bit annoying lately. And I don't know. I don't know if the wind has them spooked a little bit. I don't think so. Gilbert's a little off put by it, but he's actually doing pretty well because he used to be very afraid of any noises. Um, if it was lightning, thunder, um, wind outside, too much rain, he would run under the bed. And thankfully, he's been getting better. And this has been windy all day, and he has not had a problem. I think the girls have actually helped him with that. When it was just him and Barnaby, he would be under the bed anytime there's a little bit of wind outside or something. Um, but I think he sees the girls out and no one is like running scared. You know, if it's one thing if one of your friends or your brother isn't running scared, um, you're like, maybe he's not smart and I'm gonna go hide. Um, whereas when you see like four other ones not doing anything, you're like, oh, it's probably just me then. I think that's what he feels like. That's in my mind, that's what Gilbert feels like. I don't know if that's true or not at all. Um, let's see. Susan has joined us. Says hello, AG Bead fam. I'm back from adventures in airport. I really missed this group. We missed you too. Um, I'm glad you got back from your adventures. I'm sorry you had to adventure through like 4 airports in a day. That does not sound like fun. Not at all. Um, let's see. Marianne says, Mike, have to say my cats do not steal bread. Susan says, this is a new thing for Mookie. They do find new things every once in a while, don't they? Um, yeah, it is. Our cats, well, Ida Bell is normally a darling, but Andrew the other day, he had this cake that he made and he didn't like it. He tried to make a coffee cake and it didn't come out well, he thought. So he was um, tearing it up. He actually turned it into cookies, which I just ate. Like, I hope I don't have anything in my teeth. I just ate 2 cookies um, before this live from that cake, which is really good. But um, he said at one point he looked over and Ida Bell was on the counter just about to eat some cake. Um, so they're not allowed. They know they're not allowed on the counters. Like that is one thing. Like they jump up on the craft tables, you know, that's one thing. They're not allowed on the kitchen counters. For one, we don't like their feet on the counters. We tell them we don't put our feet on the counters, so they shouldn't put their feet on the counters. And two, things could be hot, right? The stove could be on, hot pans, you know, we don't like them on the counter, obviously. I don't think most people want their cats on the counter. I guess some people do. Some people, I mean, I have seen many Instagram videos um, of people where their cats are just sitting around on counters. You do you, but we don't like it because we have too much stuff going on and our counter space is small. So anyway, yeah, so they don't steal bread, but apparently they do try to steal cake. And yeah, someone was saying the other day that they shouldn't be doing that because cats don't have tasters for sweet. And that is supposedly a thing that cats can't taste sweet. Um, but I have to say, our cats crave sweet. Babette started it. Babette loved sweet things. She loved glazed donuts. That was one of her favorite things. And if you had a donut, she was practically going to attack you for that donut. She wanted a piece of it. Um, and they can't digest sweets very well, I guess. So that's the thing. We don't give them too much, right? But you can say cats can't taste sweet, but we have a few who, anytime we have anything sweet, they are ready for it. Um, Ida Bell tends to like sweets. Um, yeah, yeah. Um, so yeah, they may not, you know, they pick up new things, right? Um, let's see here. Let me see where I'm. Oh, comments are. Thank you all for commenting so much. We appreciate it. Um, Susan says, "Hey Susan, which was your favorite airport?" Probably none at that. Probably none through that, right? Anne is here. Hello, Anne. Thanks for joining us. Good to see you here. Says, "I'm not certain. Maybe Nashville," says Susan. Norma says, "Welcome back, Susan." Anne says, "Daniel Tiger jumps on any surface he wants." See, he's allowed. Is he allowed, or does he just do it? I guess that's the question. Can he jump on any surface he wants because he's allowed, or does he just do it? Um, yeah, some people, like I said, no problem. Um, but mostly ours are on the craft tables. And we do, like I said, we try to keep them off the counters just because things could be dangerous. If there are knives up there, if there are, we don't need one cat jumping up and knocking knives down, it could happen. So that's why we don't. Marianne says, one of my previous cats hated going in the car until she shared a space with my dog. Nice. The dog helped. That's good. Norma says, Waldo really spooked last night by the wind whipping the rain against the living room windows. He dove under the bed and stayed there half the night. Yeah, the rain last night. That's another thing. The rain, I forgot about that. I woke up at one point in the middle of the night and the rain was just bashing against the windows. Like you could hear, it sounded like hail, but it wasn't. It was just rain. It's pretty wild. There's that wind out there. It's getting wild. Um, Susan says, surprisingly, Phil avoids people food. Smokey will look at our food and wonder, do they really eat that? Ours like people food. Barnaby especially. If I'm eating um, anywhere near where he can reach, Barnaby likes to come up, and I usually, if it's safe for him to eat, like if it's a little piece of cheese or, something that, cats shouldn't eat garlic, onions, grapes, things like that. But if it's safe for him to eat, I'll push a little bit onto the side of my plate and he'll eat it off the plate. Um, there's supposedly this, I don't know if it's true. I watch a lot of videos on Instagram. Um, well, not a lot, but I do watch. I do when I have time, usually at night. And anyway, there I don't usually have time for a lot. But there are some of these videos say that if the cat eats like at a plate at the table, like some cats have been trained to eat on their plates on the table or eat a little bit off of your plate, it forms a better bond with your cat. Um, because you're spending time eating with them. And it's kind of a communal thing to do. So, yeah, Barnaby, he likes people food and he usually gets spoiled a little bit if I have something that he can eat. Um, let's see here. Susan says, my sciatica has improved post trip, but the Hubs has a, whoops, comments jumped. Hubs has a nasty cold. Oh no, be careful. There's supposedly like bad colds, bad flus going around. Um, somebody, I don't know if it was somebody from the AG Bead fam or not. No, I don't think so. Um, no, I think it was one of my relatives posted that there's a bad flu, a very bad flu going around, influenza A, I think it said. I don't know the difference between them all, but apparently people are going to the ERs, and there have been a mass of people going to the ERs recently and kind of flooding the ERs and then finding out that it's just the flu. And because the flu is a virus, obviously there's nothing they can do. Antibiotics don't help. So they're like, people are flooding the ERs and taking up space when it's really just the flu. But they said you will possibly feel the worst you've ever felt being sick. But it is the flu. And they say it can last for a week or more. And for those who don't have a flu shot, even longer. So I don't know what's going on out in the world, but be careful. Stay healthy, y'all. Wear the masks if you need to, if you're going out in a lot of public. Um, let's see here. Sif likes the occasional Cheeto and Loki likes chicken. Tyr could care less. Yeah, if we ate meat, I think it would be different. Or most of the, like, they probably really, really like it. But most of our cats don't get too bad around people food unless it's like when we had pumpkin pie with whipped cream, they love their milk treat. We call it a milk treat. It's the whipped cream. We have in the can, the aerosol, and they love that. It's like a little treat that they get until the can is empty. They usually get it every other day or so. Not too much because it'll make them have the bad times, but just a little bit, and they love that. Um, but yeah, since we don't eat meat, there isn't a ton that they like from our food. But Barnaby, if there's anything cheese related on my plate, he's got his nose in there trying to get into it, so I have to portion him a little off. Um, Susan says, I can't keep them off the counter because I sit at the counter and work on the computer and they want to be with me. Yeah, that's the thing. Like our one craft table or computer table was the dining room table. We just don't eat on the dining room table, mostly, unless we have um, a holiday thing or something that we host people, or an event that we're doing. But and then we really, of course, we clean it all off, clean the crafts and the computer off of it. But it's down, the living room has our laser in it, so the the computer sits down there, the computer that used to be at the shop. We don't have a computer in store anymore. But the computer that used to be in the store sits down there by the laser. So it just has become, the dining room table has become our computer table. And that's where I do a lot of my work because the light in there can be good at points in the day for taking photographs of things. So it is the dining room table, but it's because I work there. And so I don't mind them being on it so much. It's embarrassing when, because they're used to it, that they jump on it if we do have company over. But it's usually just family or really good friends that come over. Um, and most of them are animal lovers and they have the same issues. So it's not too embarrassing. Um, Let's see here. Susan says Mookie has decided that all the food in my dish is interesting, but the food in his dish is not, right? Yeah. Yeah, if we're heating up food at the same time that the cats are eating, which is rare because usually I try to feed them before the live and then we eat after the live, which speaking of, I have no idea what we're going to eat tonight. Because I didn't get anything today while I was out and about because I didn't drive much other than up to the cottage and back, and I don't know what we've got. So it's gonna be an interesting. I think we have some ramen, um, which I had a one pack of ramen last night and I broke out a little bit, but it could have also been who knows what else. We had beans in our chili. I think we still have some chili left over though too, so we have that. So I guess we'll concoct something. Andrew's good at that. If he's, I don't know where he's at right now. He's not commenting much, so he might be starting food, or he might be taking a nap because he didn't get much sleep last night. Anyway, I don't know how I got back on that. Oh yeah, if we eat at the same time, um, Barnaby will generally ignore any food on the plate of his and come in with me and try to get food off of me. And then if I don't give him something, then he'll go out and eat. Anne says Daniel is allowed. I'm a lenient mom. Nice. Yeah. Um, I don't, yeah. See, some people think that's really weird. I don't really think that's, we are, I think we are told when we're young, maybe my generation and generations around me, like no animals on the counters, that's not that's not how people keep their house and animals are always off the counter. I don't think I've had a house where truly animals were off of the counters. Um, you know, we try to keep ours off. They still, when they want to go outside, we go out the back kitchen door and there's a counter right beside the door. And sometimes even Gilbert or Barnaby, and they know, like they've been told not to be on the counters. And they're really good about it actually. But sometimes they jump up there. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I really don't. It's embarrassing only because of that stereotype, I guess, of like the perfect house with, but our house is nowhere near the perfect house as far as having company and all that is concerned. Our house is lived in and it's for us and it's for our cats because they are family too. So, like I said, mostly we get concerned about the danger that could be on the counter because we have various things at various points in time. And we have weird schedules. Sometimes Andrew's cooking in the middle of the night. And if you turn your head and, something's on, it's not good. So we do try and keep him off that. But pretty much every other surface in the house, every desk, every We have two kind of credenzas, kind of, I don't know what you call them. Um, kind of that, I don't know, in our living room. And we do try very hard to keep them from jumping on the top of those. Because there are things up there that are sort of fragile. Um, and so we do try very hard. It's obvious at some point one of them got up there, but they have learned that that's not a space for them, pretty much. So they're pretty good about that. Anyway, cats, right? Marion says my favorite airport is Vancouver. I don't know if I have a favorite airport. I don't know enough airports to have a favorite airport. Um, yeah, I do like what Pittsburgh did for their new airport, though. It looks really nice. Um, we got to see that on our way back from Italy. Susan says, I have two nephews currently living in Vancouver. Hope to visit there in 2026. Nice. Um, let's see here. Um, oh, Susan says, at home yesterday, we reached an all-time record high for December of 78. I saw people wearing shorts and one shirtless man. Woke up this morning, the temperature was 16. Yeah, it's 78, almost 80. I could see why people would be wearing shorts. I would be thinking about wearing shorts too. Um, but yeah, down to 16. Yeah, we had, I think it was Danette said we had almost a 40-degree temperature drop ourselves here um, over the last day with this wind. It's been insane. Norma says, wow, and I thought my temperature drop was insane, right? Or was extreme. Um, Susan says, my book buddy sent me a companion book to Spell Shop. And it says, Norma, I'm surprised that more people weren't getting sick with this nationwide weird weather, right? Yeah. And says, Susan, I have the second book in the series on my library list. Just loved the first one. Yeah, people really seem to love that Spell Shop, huh? I think might need to get that. Everybody's talking about it. Um, Susan says, William, Smokey gives us weird looks because we don't eat meat. I know, right? Cats are like, what? How can you not? But yeah, we try to indulge them with sardines every once in a while. We get them a little can of sardines. There's a brand in our local grocery store that doesn't add too much salt, no salt added, and it's done in water. So we get those. They're a little bit more expensive, but it's a little treat for them every once in a while. And they get a fillet, or actually pretty much a whole little sardine each. There's almost five. Um, there's actually like 6 or 7 in the can, but some are larger than others, so I split them up. So they get like a little fish each. And it's funny to watch them eat because they're used to like eating a lot of pate or small bite-sized things. And for these, the sardines come out in very thick, nice little fish shapes. Like they're still together, and so I put them on the plate, and it's funny to watch because they're not used to eating that, and I'm like, give them a little taste of what they'd have to do in the wild, like if they caught a fish, like they'd have to crunch it a little bit. There's no bones; they're all gone, but or at least they're dissolved or whatever they are. Um, it's I forget the brand, but it's really good. They really like them, and but it takes them a little while every time I give it to them for them to get. They're like, I gotta like pick this up and like bite into it. It's funny. Anyway, I don't know why that came to my mind, but it did. um, um, Susan says, I do too, Anne. It was truly a hot cocoa read. Nice. Um, Anne says, did your buddy send you the Enchanted Cottage or something else? And Susan says, and yes, the Enchanted Green Shop. The Enchanted Green Shop? Yeah. I have a couple of things to finish up before I start it. It says, my library just released the book bingo sheet for January through March. So I have some interesting book categories to find books for. I love that they do that. I think that's such a cool idea. Marion says, I had pizza for breakfast and lunch, and Nanaimo bars for dinner. I have no idea what that is. Pizza for breakfast is always good, though. I love pizza for breakfast. Um, let's see. Norma says, I just turned in my July through December bingo sheet today. I'm hoping to win the drawing for the $100 bookstore gift card. Nice. I'd love a $100 bookstore gift card. That'd be amazing. Good luck, Norma. Danette says good luck too. Maria says keeping fingers crossed for you. Maria says my cats rarely are on the kitchen counters, but they are allowed on most other surfaces. Yeah, we don't try and stop it too much. We've kind of given up more than don't try. We kind of given up trying to stop them, but they are family too, and it is their house. So, we don't have cat towers in many rooms. We used to have two. One really fell apart, so now we're down to one, and it's falling apart. So, cats feel safe when they can be higher up. So we figure that, most of the surfaces we have, unless it's dangerous to them or there are like severely breakable things on it, we generally let them do what they're gonna do. Um, let's see. Marion says my least liked airport is Atlanta. I don't know airports well enough to know. Um, I guess I don't really much consider an airport when I'm in it. I guess maybe I don't know if it's a bad thing. I'm just not, to me, most airports are very much the same. They serve a purpose. They're utilitarian to me. Um, I don't have any special, rewards cards or to have any special like members clubs that we get into or special rooms or anything like that. Um, so it's just like, do they have enough seats for me to sit at? Do they maybe have a place where I could plug in my phone if I need to? And that's about it. Sometimes is there a nice place to get a drink or a little bit of food of some sort that's something vegetarian. But as long as it has the basics, I don't really pay attention much to airports, I guess. Because, I could go in one airport and be in another. I don't remember which airport was which. It's kind of a thing to me. Susan says Mookie has lost weight and I don't know why. Blood tests were all normal, so I've been making chicken for him. It was a trip figuring out what to buy and how to cook it since I don't eat it. I bet. I bet. I've thought about that, whereas if we should start buying a little bit of meat to give the cats kind of a little bit of a better quality food than just cat food all the time. And that's one of the reasons I do get the sardines, is I feel like that's more natural than some of their cat food possibly. Um, and sardines are supposedly like a superfood for humans, so it's probably good for them too. Um, and I've thought about getting like regular meat and cooking that up, um, but we haven't done that yet. But I can understand, um, figuring out how to cook it, and also just how they like it. Like, because I think can they eat it raw? I think cats can eat most meats raw. Um, and whether they like it raw or whether they like it cooked. Um, yeah, most of the cats we've had. My mom used to get, um, my mom used to get rabbit. Like she would buy these things of meat, and they were generally frozen. She'd get them from the pet food store, and she'd get like rabbit, I think, and lamb, and I forget what other meats. They weren't like normal, like chicken and beef. It was like rabbit, I think, and lamb. Maybe was it sheep? I can't remember. Anyway, she would get these, and I think there is still possibly a rabbit one in our freezer. Um, but we thaw them out, and she gave them to her cats and dogs, and they loved them. So she got us some, thinking that our cats would like them, and um, this was we weren't eating meat at the time, so this was just for them. And I mean, it is just for them anyway, but we weren't like cooking anything else. So we gave it to them raw, would not touch it, like didn't want the raw meat. And then I think I tried cooking some up and they didn't want that either. Um, they just wanted their cat food. So that's the other thing too is um, I think even if I went out to buy meat for our cats, I don't know that they would actually eat it. The girls might now. I don't know. I haven't tried any of the raw meats or anything with the girls. This was all the boys and Babette back when. Um, let's see here. Susan says, "Oh, and our dryer has decided not to dry. So we have the repair guy coming tomorrow. Not great timing because we were working on getting clothes from the trip clean. Of course, right? When you got the most laundry. Um, knock on wood, thankfully, I'm gonna send out good energy to you. I hope it gets fixed easily. Send out good energy for ours. Thankfully, our washing machines and dryers, it works really well. I'm very happy with it. Um, we have LG ones. And when we moved back here from New York, we moved into the apartment that my aunt had, and she helped us get them. And then we paid her off over time with the rent money, a little bit extra added every time. And um, so we've had them for quite some time. And
You're ignoring all my comments.
I'm not seeing any.
Facebook.
Is it not showing me comments again?
You have to refresh it every once in a while.
Oh my goodness.
So you're gonna have to catch up about 35 minutes.
Oh my goodness. How many other people did I have to catch up on? I was like, Suzanne's not saying anything either. Oh my goodness. There, yeah, I'm so behind. Okay. Pamela, I missed her comments. Sorry, Facebook peeps. It seemed I don't know why that's doing it. Okay. Let's let's see. I'm glad Andrew stopped in. Um Boy, I am like way far behind. There's the winds of change, get a storm. Suzanne Gelforce wins. Andrew said, "How about the wins of millions of dollars?" I agree. I agree. It seems like Facebook stopped pushing out comments the same time this stopped pushing out comments again, too. Um, um, Pamela says, "My 8-year-old got knocked over by the wind today when he tried to go outside. I am in Johnstown." I thought you were in Johnstown, Pamela. Yeah, it's wild out there. I was driving the car and it kept pushing us along, pushing me around on the road. Suzanne says, "Glad I'm not traveling." Yeah, I don't anybody traveling in this weather. Sometimes when we're in alignment, the inside matches the outside, and the outside matches the inside. I don't know what that was about, says Andrew. Sometimes when we're in alignment, oh, the inside matches the outside and the outside. Yeah, the winds of change. He's pushing it around. Um, there was an ice storm on Friday. I think you were closed Friday. Susie says Friday we got ice. See, I'm not seeing any of these. Um, and it was refreshing so well. Um, Last week there was a snowstorm. Do you help me with the laser? Oh yeah, I did help him with laser stuff on Friday. That's the big thing I did. The girls are a bad influence. Suzanne says Barnaby is good, right? Barnaby is good. The girls are not scared of the wind. They were begging to go out to play. Yeah, they kept begging today to go out to play in the kitchen, out the kitchen door. And I'm like, you will get blown away. It is not safe out there. There's things we have. People's garbage. Apparently, a garbage bag opened somewhere. We have garbage that's been blowing through our yard. I've been seeing it flying through. Um, there's there's a posted sign, like posted private property, kind of one of those yellow signs you see. It's in our neighbor's yard. I'm like, I don't know where this stuff is coming from. Um, Ida Bell was stealing cake. Yes. Um, Let's see. Suzanne says Charlie has a fan club. She sits in the front window, and these young girls think she's so cute. That's awesome. Andrew says I don't like them on the craft tables. um, Andrew says when Babette was dying, she stopped eating, so I gave her donuts, and she took a few bites. Yeah, I went out to the grocery store and specifically bought donuts for her because she had stopped eating, and we wanted to try to see if we could tempt her appetite and get her eating a little bit more. And she ate some donuts. It was the one thing she would eat. And then she ate a little bit after that. And we thought she was maybe on the mend and maybe that helped, but then she stopped. And unfortunately, we lost her. But it was sad. But it was the one thing that she was eating nothing for, it'd been a number of days. She wasn't eating anything. And she ate that donut. Um, Suzanne says our first cat Bella loved sweets. She ran away with a cinnamon roll once. It was as big as her head. I believe it. Pamela says I tried to train my cats not to jump on counters by covering them in foil. They do not care and walked on the foil. Right. Yeah, ours don't like the sound of foil, like that sound that it makes. But yeah, I don't know. Suzanne says tinfoil didn't work for me either. Right. Andrew tells the cats he doesn't share. So whenever we're eating, he does not share. They mostly know not to go to him. He does splurge for Ida Bell and Gertie once in a while. They will sometimes get milk treats from him. Um, Even though he says he doesn't share, he does have favorites. And sometimes they get the milk treats. Let's see here. Let's see. Um, I'm trying to catch up on Facebook. Then I'll go back to YouTube. Sorry, everybody on Facebook. Um, I missed all your comments. Uh, Pamela says I end up getting garlic and onion-free spaghetti sauce because my cat Princess adores spaghetti sauce and always wants to pick my plate after I eat or lick my plate. I don't have her eat at the table, but I put it where she can get it after I'm done. Yes. Ours tried to do the same thing, and I have to fight with them not to lick the onion and garlic pasta sauce. Where do you get onion and garlic? I don't know what that would even taste like, though. We usually add more onion powder and garlic powder to our pasta sauce. Um, but that's good. It's good that you do that. Uh, Andrew said Sandra had the flu. Yes, she did. And Andrew says people say just the flu, but influenza was a major killer at one point. Yes, Suzanne says it still is. Pamela says it still does kill, but those already weakened for other reasons. Yeah, generally. Um, Susie says you need to get your flu shots. I generally don't get one, but as I'm getting older, I'm like probably should. Just worried about how it's going to affect me and how much I have to do, right? But I guess it's better than getting the flu. Um, let's see. Suzanne says one indie bookstore has a cat that has free range. I would love to have a shop cat, but we're not at the shop enough to have a shop cat. We have thought about taking some of the cats up to this cottage with us when we go up and getting like a, a cottage crew that's not afraid of the car and riding back and forth and would be good at the cottage, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We've taken Gertie up there before. We've taken a few of them up here and there. Um, and it was in the early 1900s, millions of people died, right? It's true. Andrew says, I'm commenting plenty. Yes, he is. Um, Pamela says, yeah, I think he hasn't looked at Facebook. Yes, I'm guessing there's two chats. Yeah, there are multiple chats that I'm trying to pay attention to, but normally I have them both up. They just don't refresh sometimes. I don't know what's going on. And our comments are supposed to come up in front of me here, and they definitely don't anymore. StreamYard just doesn't work. It's really kind of annoying. I need to maybe file a report with them because it needs to be fixed. Because it's hard to go back and forth too. Um, Suzanne says, if people don't like where my cats can go, they cannot come over. Right? That's right. Cats are the family members. Um, yeah. Andrew said, yeah, answering questions. Suzanne says, YouTube won't let me comment. Oh boy. Gertie loves sardines. I wonder if those little silvery fish we saw in Venice were sardines. It supposedly It is supposed to be their local specialty. Yeah, I don't know. Andrew says, William has given up. I have not. I'm the mean daddy. He's not given up trying to keep them off counters and things. I know. I've just given up. Um, Susie says, I have a couple of cats that lay down on my parrot's cage. Um, just like, it's kind of stunned that they don't try to attack parrot. Like, I guess they just learn to get along, right? For the most part. That's good though. I'm glad the parrot doesn't mind them laying on the cage. Gilbert would eat that raw rabbit and his face would get covered in blood. And it was horrifying. Yeah, he would sometimes eat it. That's right. I forgot about that. He would sometimes eat it. And he would have this bloody muzzle. It was kind of cute. It was great for Halloween. Um, Suzanne says, when my cat Wednesday had renal failure, she'd only eat dry food, period. Yeah. Suzanne says, yuck. Um, he was the only one who liked it. Yeah, and he didn't eat it all the time. He would only eat it a little bit, some of the time. Um, I don't know if there's any in the freezer right now or not. I can't remember. Susie says we're just over here talking amongst ourselves. Pamela says, you and I met briefly at the Russell House open house. That's how I found you guys. Yeah, I thought your name looked familiar and I didn't see your photo yet. I can't see it. It's too small on my computer. But I felt like I had seen your face on Facebook at one other point too. But thank you. Thank you for joining us. Um, Andrew said, I just saw a bunch of broken glass on the porch. Oh boy, something must have blown down or blown away. Might be one of my jars or vases. Could be. Could be. I think there were two things up on the radiator cover that we have out there right now. Okay, back over to YouTube now. Um, let me refresh Facebook here and make sure that I've got all my comments lined up. Did I get everybody's? If it stopped again, that looks like the last thing. Um, let's see here. Norma says appliances always quit when you need them most, right? It's true. It's true. Um, ba, ba, ba. Norma says, my criteria for airports is how far I have to run or ride the train to get to the next gate. Atlanta is the worst. Okay, that I agree with. If you have to and leave security and come back in, we had to do that. It was ridiculous. Leave security, go to the next gate, come back in. No, not fun. When it takes you 20 minutes to get to the next gate by train, it's a lot. Um, Let's see here. Susan says, Marianne, the only thing I remember was getting from one gate to another nearby gate. The airline held the plane for all of us on the canceled flight, and our luggage was waiting for us. That's good. That is good. It's great that they held that. And so Marianne said too. Says Norma, I was surprised at Atlanta. The gate for the home flight was just one gate down from us, and our luggage arrived without issue. That's awesome. That's really good. And Susan says, Susan keeping fingers crossed for Mookie. Yes. Says Mookie is eating, just being very picky. I found an expensive cat food he will eat. It comes freeze dried in big morsels, so I give him some of that every day, but too expensive to give him a lot. Huh. Susan says our trash cart kind of blew into the street due to the wind. Yeah, I tried to I thought at first that we left our trash cans out, but it was the wrong day. So our trash cans were in the garage and safe, thankfully. Andrew says the Russell House is super cute. Might be fun to do a bead meetup there. Maybe. I don't know. They do rent it out. Um, it's a nice little house. It's a big house. It's a nice big house. Okay. It's been an hour and 10 minutes. I've done a lot of chatting. So let me go ahead and I'm going to flip the camera around and let's get started looking at some stuff. We're going to have some giveaways today. So the way this works is we have a lot paper right here like this. This is going to be EZZ lots tonight because that's the number I haven't used yet. You'll take down that lot number and this is all scrolling at the bottom too, if you forget. Um, it'll have the lot number, the price per item, and if there's a number in this corner, that's how many of that item we have at that price. And you just take down that number, put it in the subject line, that's the easiest way, of an email, address that email to info@allegorygallery.com. It's also down here, and send it to us. That's it. It's first come, first serve. That's how it works. Um, we appreciate your support very much. This is some of the slowest times of the year for us. The kind of after holiday slow down, or during the holiday actually slow down. So we appreciate each and every sale tonight. And to show our appreciation, we are doing more giveaways. So we're going to have lots of giveaways. The way I've been doing this is that for every 2 lots that I show you, we're giving away something after that. So we usually do about 30 lots. That means there's about 15 giveaways tonight. I usually ask questions or tell you to say something in the comments to claim the giveaways. You don't have to send an email for the giveaways. We do all that through the comments because it's real quick. It's whatever I see first, and that's who wins it. You do have to have an order with us. Or so there are 3 ways to get the giveaways, right? Well, mostly 2 ways. There's 2 ways to get the giveaways. You have to have an order with us, or you have to place an order tonight. We can't send out giveaways for free. Obviously, it doesn't work that way, because we would lose money on shipping. So you have to have an order going out to get the giveaways. All right, so that's all there is. That's how it works. If you place an order tonight, then we'll send that giveaway out in your next order. Otherwise, it will come with your orders. If you have some orders with us already and we're gathering those, we'll send it out with those. Let's see here. Suzanne says, come to New Orleans for a bead meetup. I would love to. I would love to. Um, maybe during the not so scary weather times, right? That would be best. You sound like you're having nice weather, other than the gale force winds right now, like we're all having. But Andrew says, I do like certain airports, like Minneapolis has artwork by Josie Lewis. She has massive butterfly mosaics. Charlotte has nice rocking chairs. Nice. Suzanne says, one of Andrew's mer creatures was in Mardi Gras colors. Yes. Yes, he did do some Mardi Gras colors. I noticed that. Uh, Andrew says, I should make a little Mardi Gras friend. That'd be cute, right? Making a Mardi Gras friend. Did everyone get quiet over on YouTube, or am I not refreshing over there now? What's happening? Everybody on YouTube just got really quiet. Is that because I'm talking to people on Facebook? Yo, I'm talking to everybody. Talking to everybody. Don't stop. Maybe it is. Maybe it needs to be refreshed. I'll have to check it. Let me flip this camera around first, and then um, we will check that out and see if I need to. Somebody say something if you're on YouTube. Let me make sure it's refreshing. If nobody says anything in a few seconds here, I will hit the refresh. I hate to hit refresh though, because this computer is so slow. Sometimes it gets, it has issues. It's this poor computer. It's old. It's slowing down like we all do, right? Andrew said, Georgia sent me some vintage Mardi Gras beads, and I used them to make pieces to sell to raise money for hurricane relief back in the day. Nice. Okay, nobody's saying anything on YouTube, so I'm going to refresh because maybe there's an issue. Here we go. Come on, computer. You can do it. You can do it. Okay. See, it did freeze up. Okay. Isn't that so weird? Like when one's working, the other one's not. Let's see. Where are we at here? Susan says, plus I am making it a treat. If he gets a lot, he might not ever want it anymore. Yeah, that's true, right? Anne says, I never give Daniel people food. I would never have a moment of peace again if I did. I already have to admonish him to be a good boy multiple times whenever I'm eating, right? It's true. Michelle's here. Hello, Michelle. See? Nobody, she weren't popping up either. Susan says, I've never gotten a flu shot and I stay pretty healthy. But now that I am 67 and live in a close community, I'm going to get one tomorrow afternoon. That's probably good, right? Yeah, I've never gotten a flu shot before and generally, thankfully, don't get the flu very much. But this bad one is starting to, it's a little scary. Anne says bodega cats are now legal in New York City. Not that anyone ever really paid attention to that rule. Yeah, I didn't know that they weren't the whole time we were there. I didn't realize that they weren't. There were many a bodega with a bodega cat. Um, Susan says, I've always gotten flu shots. They aren't perfect, but they do help. Yeah, I think that's like a COVID shot, right? It's not perfect, but it definitely helps. Um, Susan says, two of my favorite bookstores have shop cats. Left Bank's Books is a lovely black cat named Orleans. Nice. Marianne's relatively calm here, she says. Anne says, would love animals everywhere. My boss at a previous job used to bring her dogs to work. I loved it. Yeah, at the Roadster factory when I worked there, um, they used to have animal days. They would come in and bring their pets to work sometimes. Mostly it was usually only dogs, but they also had pet rats. At one point they had albino rats. I don't know where they found the rats. I think somebody had one, they were moving or so, I can't remember what happened. But they ended up having rat a pet one, I think it was one, maybe two. They were white rats with, they were pretty much albino. I think they had red eyes too. I know they had one was named Velcro because his tail was like Velcro. Um, and then they had pet chipmunks for a while, Chippy, because the owner found chipmunks they were stranded in a downspout and they couldn't get out and they were babies. Um, and there was no sign of the mama around or any parents around. So he took them and they fed them and nursed them to health. And then they lived, they had a big kind of aquarium that they had, this huge aquarium that they put stuff in, and they had wheels for them to run in. And he would take them out every once in a while, and the one would sit up on his shoulder and walk around all the warehouses with him. Um, so it was pretty cute. Kim's here. Hello, Kim. Thanks for joining us. Um, Susan says, I started getting flu shots at my old job because they did flu shots every fall. I did so because my dad had leukemia and Hubs was a teacher and schools are germ factories. Yes, for sure. Bodega cats equal no mice, says Andrew, right? I think about bringing Idabelle to the cottage. Maybe she can be a mouser. Andrew says, y'all always had animals like chipmunks, and there were cats there too. Yeah, there were. They had cats, which is this very sad thing because they were probably there when the place burned down. But they did have cats back there. I forgot about those because they mainly stayed the woman who did she did the leather seats and flooring for the cars. The cars had, the carpeting for the cars and stuff. So she was a seamstress and she worked on making the patterns for all the cars and stuff. And back in her area, the cats would stay back there with her. I forgot we had the cats there too, and chipmunks and rats and all different kinds of animals. Coworkers would bring their dogs in. Suzanne says one coworker had pet possums. That's cute. That'd be pretty dang cute. Andrew says we have pet chipmunks at the cottage in the ceiling. Yeah, I think we do. I think we do. Marion says flu shots are free here. I don't know if they're free here, but I don't think they cost a lot here if they aren't free. Um, I think a lot of insurances cover them here, but you have to have insurance for that. Okay, let's see here. Let's get started since I've been having you, sorry, I had you on a blank screen for a while. Um, let's start with these. We have these at 15 originally. I'm going to do a very special today. I'm going to bring them down to 10. We try and give you deals here too if you're not somebody who watches us often. Um, this is EZZ1. This is microfaceted black spinel. And you can see we have a whole hank of it here. I just put multiples, I didn't count them. But this is black spinel beads. Black spinel is a wonderful stone. It's a little bit heavier. You can tell when it's black spinel because usually it's heavy for its size. It's very dense, metallic, and it has a very beautiful sparkle to it usually when it's cut. And these are not coated. These are the natural sparkle you get from it. And these beads are 2 millimeter. 2 millimeter black spinel. Lowest price we've ever done on those was $15 a strand. Now $10 a strand, multiple strands available. All right. Just send that to us in an email if you'd like to purchase one of those or more. You can purchase a bunch of them if you want to. $10, that's a super deal. Sandra's here. Let's see here. Hello, Sandra. How are you feeling? Danette says, I started getting flu shots when I worked at the hospital and have continued to get them. That's good. Sandra says, I've never gotten a flu shot, but after having the flu, I will next year. Today was the first day I left the house in 8 days. Oh boy. I hope you're feeling better. That's hard. Anderson, someone was looking for spinel the other day. We've got it. Harder stones hold facets better. We've just sold a few strands of these so far. Thank you so much. Again, all the sales really help us right now. It is the slow portion of the year. So we really appreciate every sale tonight. And one thing that I brought today is some of the vintage Czech glass that we brought back with us. Because we only showed most of these like once. And I know a lot of you bought a lot of the stuff then. Susan says, what size is EZZ1? They are 2 millimeter. 2 millimeter. And a lot of y'all bought a lot of the stuff and probably, maxed yourself out at the time. So I'm going to review some of that again tonight, a little bit here and there, not a ton, but a little bit here and there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strands of these. They're only $4, and these are the really good prices, y'all. We're still keeping with the prices we gave you originally. So it's the same price as it was when we brought it in, which were the really good prices, the highly discounted prices. And this is, let's see, I have 6 of these. I'm gonna grab one of them out of here. Let me light up. These are vintage Czech glass, $4 for this whole strand. And it's this AB finish kind of dimple bead. And I know we had like 5, 6, 7 days, I think, of Czech glass. And it would be impossible for y'all to have seen everything. I know. Just watching that long was probably hard enough, let alone being able to grab everything. Anne says, I like when you do some reviews because sometimes I do want things, but I have maxed myself out. Yeah, I get it. I get it. This is EZZ2. $4 only. That's the old price, probably 90s price. We have 6 of them total. We've just sold 3 of them so far. So we only have 3 of these left. EZZ2. Andrew says it won't arrive in time, unfortunately, but the Spinel would be great for New Year's Eve earrings. Yeah, it would. Any kind of festive holiday, black tie. That's what black spinel is really great for, are those fancy things because it's got that that classy sparkle, right? It's also good for anything, right? Doesn't have to be a special time. Um, oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've just sold 5 of these, so we've only got 1 left. 1 left. Let me make sure I counted right. 1, 2, 3. Yep. One is 6. So we have 1 left. If anybody wants that last one, EZZ2. Um, Andrew says, we've been watching the Taylor Swift Eras documentary, and her outfits are amazing. So sparkly. I could see folks making something inspired by them using the spinel for sure. Have you all watched the Eras documentary? It's a six episode series, I guess, 6 episode series. Um, it's really interesting. Like, it really gives you an insight to how, you know, I don't know much about Taylor Swift. I hear things, and you hear a lot of things, and um how she can be generous and all that, but you really get an inside look at how the people that work with her feel about her. And it's kind of really nice. It's really, really nice, and how much people feel appreciated around her, um, which you don't see always that often. So I think it's good. Uh, so I would suggest watching it if you haven't seen it yet. Unless for some reason you don't like her, really don't like her, but even then, it might be worth watching. Um, Susan says pretty. Says ba, 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 ba. Oh wait, here we go. Where am I at here? Everything is make sure I got everybody's questions. Sandra says, I am feeling much better, but I still have cough and congestion. Thanks for asking. Sometimes the cough and congestion lasts at least 2 weeks, says Marianne. Yeah, for sure. Sandra said, that's what I read, Marianne. At least I'm not contagious anymore. It's brutal, though. Anne says, I still have fond memories of the Czech Glass Hall. It was all so good. Thank you. We had fun. We had fun. Susan says, my friend has had the new flu variant for almost a month. We masked on the planes and in the airport. Good call. Marianne says, I once had cough and congestion for over a month. It didn't clear up until I took a trip to Vancouver. It's very dry here in Edmonton. Oh boy. Norma says, where is the Eras documentary streaming? I think it's on Disney. And I don't know which channels are, great right now. So, you know, I can't, we have Disney, so we were watching it. Sandra says, Susan's that the super flu one. I had flu A, which was the worst of the A and B. Yeah, A is what people are going to I was talking earlier in the show about people going into the ER about apparently a lot and getting turned away because there's nothing they can do. Um, Susan says, I don't know much about these current pop singers because I listen to none of the hits all the time, but Eris does sound interesting. It was really good. Andrew says, I think the documentary is good. I was crying my eyes out for most of it. Yeah, even I was crying at certain points. Like, and I don't like to admit that, but I don't know why. But yeah, she had me tearing up, and people had me tearing up. Andrew says, if it was good enough for the Queen of England, Spinel is good enough for us commoners, right? Andrew says, like when she has kids go on stage and get a hat, right? It's super cute. And Andrew says, I like that the mom is a beater. She be making friendship bracelets in the green room. It's true, she was. Um, Sandra says, I did get Tamiflu, Michelle. Wow. Michelle says, and it really helps. Anne says, I don't have Disney, but my mom seems to have a couple episodes recorded from the other channel. I don't know, but I told her I'd watch with her. That's good. I don't know what other channel. I don't know how it came to be. I did hear, I guess Disney, I think, bought the rights to it. So they have it now. They also have the Eras Tour, the last date of the Eras Tour. Um, so we started watching that too, but it's a 3.5 hour tour, y'all, or 3.5 hour show. She sings for 3.5 hours and runs around that stage. I don't want to give too much away, but she said every single show, they did 150 shows. Every single show, she is running and singing around the stage. She travels about 8 miles in 3.5 hours, just running back and forth on the stage, which is crazy to me. Um, okay, let's do a giveaway. It's giveaway time. Let me find something for y'all. We sold a few more easy ones. Thank you so much. So we only have one easy two left. That's this one. If y'all are trying to get one, there's only one of these remaining. Get it now. Get it now, y'all. Um, and let's see. Let's give away. Let me try and find something that looks kind of like a pear. This is probably the closest to a pair that I've got in here. Maybe that one will look a little bit better with this one. Yeah. Okay. This is a pair of ametrine. So it's amethyst and citrine, and you get both stones. That's the giveaway tonight. Well, that's the first giveaway tonight. And um ba, ba, ba. In order to win this, which one of our cats was trying to eat cake off the counter? First person to answer that question wins. Um, Andrew says, and she does it in heels, right? It's true. Pamela says, I'm a big Swiftie. Nice. Did you get to see the Eras tour at all? And first person to get it was Marianne. Marianne got it with Ida Bell. Andrew says, not just running in tennis shoes, running in Louboutins, right? Andrew says, wow, that's a good giveaway. I want to win. Yeah, this giveaway, these are valued at $4 a bead. So that's an $8 giveaway. $8 giveaway. It's more than this. More than this, giving it away. Should have gave away the check glass, not the $8 worth of beads. Okay. I already set the other things in bags, so I took them away. So I got to start new giveaway bags for everybody. We've been doing the giveaways for the past 3 lives. And it's our way of giving back here at the end of the year, spreading some joy, and just having a little bit of fun with y'all. We appreciate it so much. All right. Sandra says they had to give me breathing treatment at urgent care. I could barely breathe. I have asthma. The flu is much worse with asthma. Wow. Sorry. I have a few friends with asthma and they struggled like I did. Wow. Susan says my hubs has asthma and the idea of him getting the flu scares me for sure. Anne says the running and singing, I'd be in trouble. I could carb up for it though. She talks about her in there. She talks about her weight training and her exercise plan and how much she hates some of it, but she has to do it. Let's see here. Ba, ba, ba. Okay, everybody caught up? I'm caught up there. Caught up there, I think. Hopefully I'm not missing any comments. Well, that checked glass is popular, so let's find something else maybe that y'all might like. I don't want to make it an all check glass show, but do a few nice strands of it. How about that? I'll find some fun stuff for y'all maybe. Oh, I like beads. There's only one strand of this too, and it's only $12. This is a super good deal. EZZ3. Suzanne says, my little toe still hurts. It's a hard thing to get over, right? Especially little toes. It takes a long time, I feel like, for them to heal up. Andrew says, stubbed my little toe and it got pretty banged up. Thankfully, it didn't get too gross. I think it's because I put arnica on it. That's good. Got that arnica out. Okay, let's see here. And this one, EZZ3, are these vintage check glass button beads. You get a whole strand of these. There's only one available. They're kind of this clear yellow amber color. And each one on here is a button. And you get the whole strand of them for $12. EZZ3, $12. They're about 11 millimeter buttons. Anybody need a bunch of buttons? They're great for using them as a button toggle, like a clasp. Just make a loop out of seed beads, pop the button through, and you've got a nice loop clasp. EZZ3. Oh, Andrew added a brick stitch pattern to the Patreon. So if you're in the Patreon, check that out. Brick stitch pattern by Andrew. Let's see, we have 1, 2, 3 of these left. These are only $8 a strand. Get my papers. My hands are so dry. Okay. EZZ4 are these awesome check glass beads in green. And I love this shape. And we have 3 strands of these available. EZZ4. They are approximately, we'll do them this way, about 15 millimeters by about 16 millimeters. EZZ4. Andrew says, I submitted an application to become an artist in residence at Creative Reuse. Suzanne says, fingers crossed, Andrew. Pamela says, how cool. Where is that located? Andrew, it's in Pittsburgh. Says it's a big stipend and a material credit and an art show. Nice. Susan says, I love arnica. Boiron, the company that makes a lot of homeopathic remedies, was at the conference I was at, and I got samples and found they now have an arnica arthritis cream. Oh, nice. I use their homeopathic, because they're a French company, right? I use their homeopathic allergy pills, and I love them. Love them. Andrew says, I love Creative Reuse. Yeah, it's cool. It's a nice, cool company. Okay, what should I give away next, everybody? What should I give away next? Let's see. How about this? And it says, I have some good news. We sold our washing machine yesterday. One less thing to worry about with this move. My mom has a new washer, so we didn't need ours. Nice. Andrew, or Marianne says, Andrew, that is what you need to manifest rather than the high winds. Well, those winds have changed. Maybe that'll be, maybe that'll be it. Okay. Let's see here. Next giveaway is this. It's a strand of beautiful shell beads. They're drops. Isn't that nice? All right. In order to win this, let's see. What did we talk about earlier? Okay. When we had the uh, meat that we would prepare for our cats, Andrew mentioned one cat that would eat the meat. In order to win this in the comments, let me know which cat it was. Let me know which cat it was. Anybody remember? And you can win this. And Suzanne got it first with Gilbert. Gilbert is right. Let me make a bag for you, Suzanne. Um, Suzanne's asking Andrew if he got a book. Says, yeah, I got it on sale, $6, and it came from England. Nice. Okay. Next, EZZ5. Okay. People just didn't like those check glass pieces, or you don't want to see more check glass. Let's see here. I like these. We didn't sell any of these the first time through. I find that hard to believe. But apparently not, because we had three, we still have three. EZZ, it's the same with these. We had three, we still have three. I can't believe we didn't sell any of these. I love this one. Marianne says $6 from England, cheap, right? Oh, Pamela tried to guess Gilbert. Marianne also tried to guess Gilbert. Sorry, just a little bit late. This are these opalescent check glass beads. Really pretty. $8 a strand. EZZ5. EZZ5. 14.5 millimeters by approximately 11. Look at those. Let me get this up here. Beautiful, kind of that opalescent flash. Check that out. Beautiful beads. EZZ5. Nobody claimed any of these the first time we had them, or these. So we've still got them. Big jelly beans. Danette says, I wish EZZ4 was smaller in size. They don't make it smaller. We looked. That's the only size they had. It's the only size they had. EZZ4, EZZ5. Andrew loves these. Of course, anything like opalescent, Andrew's going to love, right? Me too. Me too. We just sold one of the fives. Hurrah! Somebody wants one. I think they're so pretty. EZZ1, I'm putting them away, but that doesn't mean they're not available. You can still get them. We still have a number of them available. Andrew says it's got a red fire. Yeah, it's this kind of, I don't know. What color is that? What color you call this? beigey, kind of ish, yellow, beige, but it's got that red fire in there. Beautiful. Look at that red flash. So pretty. So we have 2 of those left. We have 1 of these left, but I'm going to put them away so we can make room for other things. 1 of those still left, only $4. Almost sold out on those. And remember, this is vintage check glass. We may or may not be able to ever get more. This isn't stuff we can just order easily and get in. We went and handpicked these out at the warehouse, and we picked out our favorite things and then some because we went a little overboard. Um, that was a pretty big bill, which we're recovering from, but it was definitely worth it because we have such a nice supply now of beautiful check glass beads and buttons, right? Let's see about these. And again, another one we didn't sell any of the first time around. Um, EZZ6. So either people didn't like it or they missed it. But right now, I think this is a really good color for Cloud Dancer. You've got this table cut square with the Picasso edge, and it's got the white inside. So if you're working with Cloud Dancer, getting ready for having lots of white beads in your life, beautiful table cut check glass vintage strand. These squares are about 10.3 millimeters. So we'll say 10 millimeters, right? About 10 millimeters. Thickness on those is about 3.8. So 4 millimeters. About 3 of them available, $10 each. That is the old price. You can see this is the old tag from like the 90s, probably 90s, 2000s, early 2000s. $10 only. Same price to you all. 3 strands available. EZZ6. Okay, that means it's time. We're on an even number. It's time for another giveaway. What should I give away next? Let's see, we're doing some check glass. Let's give a check glass giveaway. Andrew said, I want to go back. I know. It says he even wants us to go to the Czech Republic with him. I know. Could you show EZZ3 again, says Danette. Yes, I can. This is EZZ3. It's a whole strand of buttons. They are, I think, 11 millimeter, we said. Yeah, 11 millimeter buttons. Get the whole strand of them. I don't know how many are on here, but there's a lot. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. There's probably at least 40, 45, 50 buttons on there. Great for making button and loop closures. Or anything you could use a button for, right? There's you can kind of see. There's one you can kind of see pretty well. Okay. EZZ3. All right. We've just sold one of the 6s. Thank you so much. EZZ6. And the giveaway tonight, some check glass. These are vintage large check glass faceted beads, rondelles, 16 millimeter. And let's see, what's the question I can ask for this giveaway? I'm trying to think of all the things we talked about. Oh, Something happened to one of my family members' houses in the windstorm today. What happened? Let me know in the comments. First person to tell me wins. Andrew says, part of me wants to load up on a bunch of check glass and then drive around and do pop-ups where it's warmer during the cold times. That would be fun, right? Danette is the first one with shingles blew off. It's true. That's what happened. That's what happened. And Danette gets this. Let me go ahead and make Danette a bag up. I should have kept out all those bags from the other few days, but oh well. They're put away. They're taken to the cottage, but ready to be sorted. Okay. All right. Next up, EZZ. EZZ7. Let's see what I've got. What have I got for you? Okay. I don't know if anybody's going to want any of these, but we were talking about Taylor Swift, and these remind me of, whoa, these remind me of what would be kind of high-end Taylor Swift bracelets. The beads, you could use in them. These were $65, and I'll bring them down to, let's do 48. I've got two of them. These are a dyed opal strand, dyed opals. Wouldn't that be a fun bracelet making? Now, these are not like the sparkly opals, like Ethiopian, Australian. These are more like probably a dyed like a pink opal. There's not a lot of flash in them, so they're that kind of opal. It's a softer stone, takes dye well. And these are just kind of a fun play on, they look also like those candies, those candy necklaces. I used to love those. Says me and Ida Bell can hit the road, says Andrew, right? Oh boy, he's planning on hitting the road again. Can't stay home. Can't stay home. These are done on sterling silver, lobster claws, and chains. But you can, we're selling them for the price of just the strands of beads. They're 6mm beads. We're not selling them at the price of a necklace. They would be more if we sold them, you know, that finished jewelry thing. But just the price of the beads, $48, lowest price ever on those. Two of them available. EZZ7. We did just sell EZZ4, one of those. Thank you so much. Okay, did my comments quit? Let me refresh. Or did everyone stop talking? Everyone stop talking. What are y'all doing out there? Don't stop talking. We've had the most number of viewers that we have had in probably 3 weeks at least. And it's because, I guarantee it, because we're all chatting so much. The more we chat, the more viewers we get. So thank you all for keeping that alive. Everybody keep chatting. EZZ8. Andrew says, I can just imagine Gertie trying to sell beads. She'd be pretty dang cute. She'd just give people those big eyes and they would just buy them. She's very expressive in her eyes. She is very expressive in her eyes. Okay. Now I know someone here who already has these, but I want to show them for all of you because she made an amazing necklace using these. I believe these are the ones. These are $31 a strand. That's the old price. These are these large check glass, minty green color beads. Susie says, I'm here, had to go get some blueberries to snack on. That sounds delicious. So if you saw, it was Anne who made this beautiful necklace using these big beads. She used these and some gray ones, which I also have the gray ones if anyone's interested. I've got one strand of each left. These are 22 millimeters by 25 millimeters. Beautiful, very large check glass beads. EZZ8, $31. Last strand available. Michelle says, my football team won yesterday. There's one more game than playoffs. I know nothing about football other than Taylor Swift really is into football now. I learned that, right? It talked about their dating life and all that too, which was really interesting. Okay. I'm going to put 3 away. Nobody's grabbed 3. Andrew said, Anne's necklace turned out so good. It did. Andrew says, you want the beads? That's kind of how Gertie talks. She talks in like loud bursts. So we always say that it sounds like she's yelling at people. You want the beads? She's very forceful sometimes. It's very cute because she's so small too. I'm going to put 4 away as well. We still do have those available. Maybe I'm going to put 4 away. What did I do with the bag? Did I? Oh, did I leave it in here? I have this habit sometimes. I don't pull the bags completely out. I just pull one thing out of them and then I put them back. Well, so far I've only sold one of these. So if I don't find it here real quick, I'm just going to, okay, it's good. It's in its own bag. So I'm going to put this away. We've only sold one. Let's see. Sandra says UPS lost a customer package. I can't replace the beads. It was over a $400 package. Thank goodness I did the insurance. Yeah. You know, usually UPS I find is pretty good. But we go, we go by the mail. And I know some people can't. I know that. But we've had such good experience with the mail that we rarely ship any other way. I'm sorry that happened. That's terrible. I know what that's like. And it is so hard when that happens. Andrew says, but she does gentle paw. Yeah. Gertie sticks her little paw so gentle like. And then Andrew says, Ida Bell will scream in your face and is very talkative. Yeah, she does too. She does too. See, Marion says, I am eating ginger thins. Reminds me of my mother's Christmas baking. Vicky says, love ginger thins. One of my favorite cookies. Nice. Smokey is taken to jumping on me and screaming while aggressively kneading. Susan, that's kind of cute. That's kind of cute. Tallulah has a breathy voice. Yeah, she's very breathy, but she like sings songs when she talks. Pamela says, my cat Princess is very talkative too, wanders the house yelling. My daughter's cat, Ninjalina, will yell mainly for my daughter to come join her upstairs. That's funny. Tallulah also carries a mouse, a toy mouse in her mouth and sings with it, yells with it. We call that the money dance. Paolo used to do the money dance for us. And now Tallulah has taken it up. Suzanne says, my cats squeak instead of meowing. Michelle says, wow, William, I can't believe you still have those rainbow opals. I know. I know. And these aren't, like I said, they're not the flashy ones. I think we're completely sold out of the flashy ones. I think actually Andrew took the last strand of those in his pile, the really flashy ones. But this also means it's time for a giveaway. Let me find something here. I think I had it prepared before again, but I'm just trying to go with the flow. You usually get the better deal this way, right? Because I just grab stuff from the thing here. All right, this is a giveaway. It's this stone pendant. How about that? Okay. I'm just making this easy on myself. Andrew says, don't worry about it, William. I know, right? This giveaway, in order to win this, the first person who in the comments says blue wins it. That's all you got to do. First person to say blue. And Vicky got it. Vicky's the first person. Thank you so much. Whoa, whoa. Where'd the bag go? I'm gonna make a bag for Vicky, y'all. Um, Sandra says, it really is. I'm so frustrated. The package didn't move in 7 days. It was supposed to move on the 24th. Wow. Susan says, once in a while, Phil will hear a loud noise and let out a low growl. It sounds like thunder. That's pretty cute. Let me make a tag for Vicky. Oh, we just sold another 4. Thank you so much. That's the green ones. Oops, I don't mean to close that. Pamela says, grr, Facebook auto-filled it when I just typed blue. Oh, geez. See, sometimes they be like that. They're gonna mess you up, right? Okay. Speaking of Taylor Swift, EZZ9. It is a snake button, vintage check glass snake button. Taylor Swift has a whole set on the Eras tour with the snake. So that could be cool. Snake button. This has a metal shank. It is about 18.5 millimeters. Only one available. Just one of these in this gray and black. EZZ9, $6. One available. What else? Okay, EZZ10. Pamela's reputation. Yep, you know. You know. Nobody else grabbing number 5? That opalescent with that red flash. Okay. Oh, we sold number 9, the button. Thank you so much. I'm going to put that away so it doesn't tempt anybody else. Yeah, the effects on that tour were kind of amazing, right? So far, we're watching the parts I've seen. They really went all out. Okay, number 10. This was 60, bringing it down to the lowest price ever, $40. I've got two of them available. This is Neon Appetite strands on the sterling silver lobster claw. It's marked 925 right there. You can see it. And the sterling chain. Beautiful neon apatite, really high quality stones. Only two of these available. And these are graduated as well. $40 a strand. Lowest price ever on these. They range from about 3.7 millimeters to around 6.5 millimeters. Two strands available, $40 each, EZZ10. Anna says, button, did I get the snake button? Yes, Anna, you got the snake button. Hello, Anna, by the way. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us out there. All right, that means it's giveaway time. It's like there's a giveaway every 2 lots or something like that. Exactly what it is. How about, let's see, how much do we normally sell these for? These are normally $8 to $12. And I'm just going to give away one. Am I crazy? $8 to $12 normally. Just giving away the store now. These are vintage dyed freshwater pearls. These mini pearls in this kind of pink, pearlescent pink. It's a really pretty color. It's not quite pink. It's like a peachy pearlescent pink. Really pretty. You get this whole strand, normally $8 to $12. And let's see, what should the question be? Like red hot, says Susan. Yeah, kind of, right? Like red hots. Anna says, I opened YouTube before the start and poof, 2 hours disappeared. Glad I didn't miss too many of the offerings. That happens sometimes, right? How about this? Today, in the online store, I created a collection. What is that collection of? Or who is that collection by? First person to say in the comments wins. I need, yeah, that's okay. First person wins. Susan says Andrew. No. Norma says Harry. That is correct. It's Harry's work now in the online store. His artisan goods, we are moving them into the online store. So Norma, that's yours. Thank you so much. Let me see. I don't think you got one yet tonight, right? So I'm going to make you a bag too. I guess some of you didn't check our email today. I also sent out emails about it too. And did a blog post about it. And made a Facebook post. Yeah, I was busy. That's mainly what I was working on a lot of the afternoon today. All right, what number am I on? EZZ. Let's see. Susan said, just had a lot going on. Yeah, I'm just joking. I'm just joking, y'all. I know your life doesn't revolve around us completely, right? Ooh, these are nice. And we didn't sell any of them the first time around. What? I don't know why I shouldn't. Maybe I shouldn't put the ones we didn't sell, and they must not be popular, but I think maybe just people missed them. These were some of the later numbers. EZZ11, check glass, vintage. These beautiful cubes with these beautiful colors. It's kind of reds, pinks, almost orangey colors. It's like a little sunset or sunrise. You kind of give me what, that 60s or 70s vibe, a 70s vibe maybe. Pretty cool. I like them a lot. They're 10.5 millimeters. There are 3 strands available, $8 only per strand. That's it. $8 only per strand. Marianne, with good qualification because it does revolve around AG. You do? That's nice. That's nice. Okay, EZZ12. Anytime people pay us some attention or support us in any way, we are thankful for it. Very thankful for it. Another one that nobody got any of the first time around are these EZZ12. And there are 3 of these available. EZZ12. And these are these little triangles in the same color and fire, that red flash, that red fire as EZZ5. So if you got an EZZ5, you might want an EZZ12 to go with it. Play with the shapes in that one. They're the same color, but you could play with different shapes. That's EZZ12. $6 only. Those are inexpensive. Wow. 3 of them available. And we just sold 2 of the EZZ12s. Thank you so much. We have 1 left. 1 left. Oh, we sold 2 of the EZZ11s as well. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. All right. That means even number means it's time for a giveaway. I'm having a hard time picking out giveaways here. I should wish Andrew would come up and pick out some giveaways. It's hard picking out 15 giveaways in a night. Okay. This normally sells from $7 to $10. This is a strand of glass beads, various colors, and they are about 6.5 millimeters, except the big one, which is about 12. They are a mix of faceted rounds, some drops on there, mostly faceted rounds though. And you get that strand. And let's see, what can I ask? Oh my goodness. Oh, how about this? What channel or what network is the Eras Tour streaming on currently? First person to get it wins. Remember, in order to win these, you must have something that you've purchased with us, whether it's a previous purchase that we haven't shipped yet, or you purchased something tonight. And the first person to get it was Anne with Disney. Thank you so much, Anne. Now, did we have a bag for you yet tonight? I know we did before, but I took those already. No, not tonight. So I'll make you a bag. Pamela says, ooh, I want it. Sorry, Pamela. Okay, I'm gonna put away EZZ6. We still have 2 of these available if anybody's interested at $10 each. Table cut check glass is always a little more expensive. So because even though they're smaller beads, the table cut is why they're $10. It's a more expensive process to do. I'm going to put 7 away. That's these opals, these dyed opals. Now, where's my other one of those? There it is. I just saw these. I like how everyone's so excited for people when they win the giveaways. They're like, yeah, congrats, Anne. Yay, Anne. Everybody's so nice. That's the AG Beat fam for you, right? All right, this one's still available. This is $31. That's that big check glass. There are not many people in the Czech Republic making check glass this size anymore. It's like done by one family, we're told, and that family, their kids don't want to continue doing it. So they're not sure how long big beads will be made. This is the Neon Appetite. This is the actual color, y'all. For those of you who don't know, this comes out of the ground this way. This is not dyed. This is a beautiful blue and it's natural. So that's $40 for that strand. We have one EZZ11 left and one EZZ12 left. All right. What else? Are y'all interested in more buttons? Would you like more strands? Would you like something totally different than check glass? I'm gonna do this one just because it matches things. And I still have 3 of these. None of these sold. It's like this color the first time around nobody wanted, and now it's nearly selling out. EZZ 13. Michelle says, I think I have number 10. Maybe. I don't know how many of those we got at one point. EZZ 13 are these beautiful beads. Again, this color, that beautiful flash. $8. These are these faceted drops. And these are 6.5 by 9 approximately. I think these could be really cute to make some really cool earrings. Wouldn't that be pretty just like that? With maybe some kind of spacer in between, a color, put a red spacer in there or something. That'd be pretty nice. EZZ13, $8 a strand, 3 strands still available. We just sold one of them. Somebody's grabbing the collection. Marianne says, I think I also have 10. Nice. Well, then I'm putting 10 away. Y'all got it. I got to make room here. Okay, number 10 going away. Okay. 111 left, 112 left, 2 13s left. I love these drops. And like I said, I might be, because I got 1 strand of these left at least. I might be making some earrings out of these. I really do like this. I really like this color in this flash. I wasn't sure at first because of that's a color, it's a little muted, kind of. It's so pretty under light. In the sun, ooh, I bet that's going to be gorgeous. EZZ13, EZZ12, EZZ14 coming at you. Marianne says, I want to make a bracelet with 12 and red spacers. Wouldn't that be awesome? That would be awesome. We've just sold the last one of 12. I guess I won't be making any earrings with that, but y'all will be making beautiful things, I'm sure. Thank you so much. EZZ12 gone. Somebody else just tried to grab 12. Sorry, it is sold out. Sold out. Maybe never to have it again. All right, EZZ14. Y'all seem to be liking the check glass, so I'm going to keep going a little bit with this. See what I have in here. Trying to find. Oh my goodness. I had no idea I had this much of this color. Let's do it again. Still have 3 because none of this color sold the first time around. 3 strands of this. These are the big ones. EZZ14. These are the biggest of them that we've had so far. Let me show you. These are the first nuggets that we had. And then these are the bigs. They're only $10 a strand. That's a really good deal. The size of check glass. I mean, look at this size and look at this size. This one's 31. This one's not much smaller, and they're only 10. EZZ14. That would make a really pretty bracelet too with some red. Red spacers. And I don't know what would maybe like look how nice that would go as a closure. You could make that kind of all. I know somebody already bought these. These are EZZ3, but that would be a really pretty closure. It would kind of blend in a lot because it's that it's got a little bit of that yellow hue to it. Let's see, 14. We just sold 2 of the 3. We only have 1 of those left. Sometimes it's sad for me to see things go. Like I need to sell things to make money, especially this time of year. So we really appreciate it. Sometimes it's so sad to see things go because I love this stuff so much. And I like to have it around, and it's so pretty. Suzanne says, I like the color too, right? Danette says, one of my favorite things is happening. Miss Lucy is dreaming that she is running. She lets out a little bark once in a while. It's so cute. I love it. That's cute. Michelle says, I still really want those dyed opals, maybe soon one day. That would be nice, right? Today's the cheapest they've ever been. I will say that. I don't think we've ever brought them down to $48 before. Just throwing that out there. I know. I know you're going through things right now, but just let you know. Vicky says, I'd like to use EZZ14 with some of my vintage Moonglow. For sure. Somebody, let me see if I have, I think I can show you a picture. Did you see the earrings that I posted that somebody made in class with me on Sunday? Let me see if I can do this. Oops. Nope. That's not what I wanted to do. Sorry, everybody. My screen just tilted. Let me bring it back here. Oh, now my thing is all to show you something. I hit the wrong button. That's a dangerous thing to do. Let's try this again. Add file, photo library. And it's these. And I want to show you this. Can you see those on the screen? These would have been really lovely with this Moonglow. It's a Moonglow we have, I think we have some in the online store right now too. It's the vintage Moonglow lucite. But just imagine it with, it's sitting actually right, you can see it together on screen. That with that green Moonglow would be so pretty. And she actually kind of used that color in this check glass that she had. Well, she didn't have, she got it from us. But it kind of is that same kind of color. But that's a really good idea, Vicky. Okay, I'll take that away. All right, that was an even number. So that means time for a giveaway. Let's see here. All right. And oh no, Suzanne says, damn, fools be shooting fireworks now. That's not right. I don't like that. It's hard enough when it's New Year's Eve and they go crazy shooting off the fireworks, but it's so hard um, on animals, on our veterans who have PTSD and all that. It's not great. I understand the fun of it, but it is very hard on certain groups of people and lots and lots and lots of animals. Okay, next up this is the giveaway. This is approximately 6 millimeter dyed fossil beads. Dyed fossil beads. We generally sell these anywhere from $7 to $10, I think, a strand. Is that what I had on here? 6 to 10. $6 to $10 a strand. And I mean, I think that would look really pretty even with that. That's a pretty color to go with that. And let's see here. First person to say in the comments the very first type of fossil you ever saw, or your favorite type of fossil. Let me know in the comments. And first one I see is who wins. If you want this, that is. Maybe you don't. Okay, the winner of that is Anna. This is fossilized shell. All right, Anna, you got it. Now don't you have one already? No, you don't yet. Gotta make you a giveaway bag. Suzanne tried for T-Rex. That's fun, right? Diane said shark tooth. Hello, Diane, by the way. Thanks for being here. Marianne said dinosaur bones. Anna says we had limestone all around with shell pieces in them. That's awesome. Get a bag here. Okay. EZZ15. That marks the halfway point of the sale this evening. Unless we go to 40. Who knows? Who knows what we'll do? I'm having a good time tonight. Enjoying hanging out with y'all. Let's see here. How about these are super cute. We've talked a lot about cats today. I don't know if these are cat. They kind of look like cats. Kind of don't look like cats. I don't know. There's some kind of creature. I think they're cats. EZZ15. And it's time for bed. Have a good evening. Good night, Danette. These tiny, not tiny, small, buttons. Is that a cat? I don't know what that creature is. Is it a dog? Is it a boxer? Is it a French bulldog? Is it a cat? What is that? I don't know. It's what you want it to be. What you want it to be, but it's pretty dang cute. It has a metal shank, and it's got this beautiful blue metallic finish on a black button. There are 2 of them available, and they are $6 each. EZZ 15. Critters. Looks like a bulldog. That's what I was thinking, a bulldog. Marianne says bulldog too. Boxer says Suzanne. See? Could be either one of those. It could be any of those. 11 millimeters approximately. 2 buttons available. EZZ 15. $6 each. We've just sold 1 of them. Thank you so much. There is still 1 available. All right, EZZ16. We normally sell these for $2 each. There are 15 of them on here. That would be $30. I'm going to bring them down to $26 for the strand. I'm just going to see if anybody wants the whole strand. These are African metal, large hole, $26 for the whole strand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 15 beads on there. And these beads are approximately 14.5 millimeters. Oh, we sold all of the 15s. Sold all of the 15s. Thank you so much. EZZ16, $26 instead of 30. I can't bring that down too far. Our margins are small on the African beads like that. So that's the best I can do on those. And let's see here. We just sold, let me check, the last 14 as well. Thank you so much. Let me put that away. Oops. I think everywhere over here. And that was these big ones. So the last 14 has sold. How's everybody doing out there? Staying awake? I don't know. I haven't seen Andrew. Let me refresh to make sure my Facebook is refreshing. I haven't seen Andrew say anything in a while. I don't know where he went. Where'd he go? Where'd you go, Andrew? Okay, that means I have done my 2. Well, that means it's giveaway time. Giveaway time. How about this? This is another nice one. I think. Marianne's barely awake. Oh no, Marianne. This is a large piece of aquamarine, vintage aquamarine, beautiful quality. Single bead, could be a nice pendant. We normally sell these for $6 to $8 a piece. Doing it for the giveaway today. Oh, and by the way, if you see a giveaway that you would like to purchase after somebody wins it, Let me know, because some of these I do have others as well. Let's see, this giveaway, let's do an easy one. Just let me know what your favorite gemstone is. I think I've used this question before, but on another day. Let me know what your favorite gemstone is, and it is yours. And it is Susan with Ruby. Susan with Ruby. Thank you so much. Now, did I make you a bag today, Susan? Or is this your first win for today? I like that so many people, so many different people are winning today. I think this is your first one. Let me go here. Susan said first win for today. Yeah, I thought so. We had Brassiolite with other Susan, of course, right? Marianne did Carnelian, of course. We had Diane with pink tourmaline and Suzanne with amethyst. Let's see here. Okay. What number am I on? EZZ17. Let's see. This is $5. There's one of these. EZZ17. This is another one of these little boxer or bulldogs in this beautiful kind of lavender color with a metal bail. One of these only available, EZZ17. $5. $5 for that color. And EZZ18. We just sold 17. Thank you so much. EZZ18 is another snake one, this time in gold. Gold with kind of like the beige ivory glass. Gold snake button. One of those available, $6. I'm going to put 17 away since it has sold. Thank you, thank you. Okay. Ba, 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 ba. What am I on? Oh, a giveaway. Okay. That's what I have to give away. Oh, we just sold 18. Thank you so much. Let me put that away. Whoa. Okay, I think these are a dyed jade. They could also be a glass. But it's these. It's these beads. I think they're a dyed stone. Not 100% sure. But they're yours. If you are the first that I see to um tell me what you had for dinner tonight. And these are about 4 millimeters. Susan says it almost resembles soda light, right? Oh, somebody else tried to grab 18. Sorry, it has sold. First person was Susan that said had breakfast for dinner. Nice. What'd you have? What kind of breakfast? Let's see. And I think you haven't gotten a bag yet. See, everybody's winning almost a little bit tonight. Vicky said too many words to describe, LOL. Anna had cheese sandwich. Marianne had the Nanaimo bars. Michelle didn't have any dinner yet. Um, Susan had spaghetti. Michelle said it's a trick question for me. You could say what you were going to have. I would have taken that too. I would have taken that too. Diane had tilapia and Suzanne had pasta. I don't know what we're gonna have. A little concerned. Um, Susan said Hubs wanted comfort food, so he made scrambled eggs, tater tots, and faux sausages. That sounds delicious. Delicioso. Okay. EZZ19 coming up for you. Let's see what's in this bag. Susan says, oh, it was. Michelle says, haha, I don't know until it's close to eating. Oh, that's like us. We don't plan either. Okay. I'm going to give these a try. No one bought any the first time around, but I'm hopeful that somebody will want them this time. There are 3 strands of these available. I love these, but they are big. Some people are afraid of the big beads. BZZ19, $24. They're these beautiful purple, large check glass vintage faceted rounds. Look at those. I love the lines. Like they're like these ones. They have the lines through them. I love it. Beautiful purple, about 17 millimeter faceted round beads. Susan says, I have no fear of large beads. Nice. Andrew says it's going to be a surprise. Oh, there's Andrew. There's Andrew. Says it's going to be a surprise. So that's $24. EZZ 19. All right. Put that back out. Oh, I loved these too. I picked these out because I love them so much. And nobody wanted them. So I'm going to try them again. They're not expensive either. $14. There are 3 strands available. EZZ20. They're all on a hank here, so I'm just going to show you the whole thing. Are these beautiful table cut? I love these so much. EZZ14, 3 strands available. You'll see them here. I'm sorry, EZZ20, $14. EZZ20, $14. Beautiful table cut squares. They are about 14.5 millimeters. And there are 3 strands there available. Let me put EZZ8 away. That's the only one I think of those, right? Yeah, one. So let me get a bag for that. Where'd my bags go? That away. Still available if anybody's interested. Ooh, it's really windy out there right now. I'm going to put EZZ11 away. EZZ11, $8. So I've got at least one of those, I think, available. Let me see, we've sold 2. Yeah, so we have one of the 11 still left. Those are really pretty. If you missed those, let me show you that right quick again. Whoa, what's going on here? It's these really, really pretty, kind of sunsetty. Remind me of kind of a 70s cool vibe going on. So that's still available, one of those. And I'll move 13 down. I think I've got 2 13s left. Yeah, I've got 2 of the 13s left. We've just sold one of the 19s, the big beads. Thank you so much. We still have the metal African beads. I think those are Ethiopian, if I'm not mistaken. EZZ16. We got 2 of the 19s left. We've sold one of those. And we still have all 3 20s so far. And even number means we are up for a giveaway. Let's see what I've got. Vicky says, is the inner square offset on EZZ20? Is it offset? Yes, they're like crooked, if that's what you mean. They're also indented, if that's what you mean. So they are twisted a little bit, and they are also lower. And they've got the beautiful outside Picasso or travertine edge. I don't know the difference well enough. Susan said those are really cool, aren't they? They really are. Okay. EZZ. No, giveaway. Giveaway, did I just do a giveaway? Or am I doing a giveaway? I'm doing a giveaway now, right? That's what I'm doing. I'm losing track of myself here, y'all. Oh my goodness. How about some Cloud Dancer action? Cloud Dancer action. This is check glass. A set of 6 check glass white drops. Check glass white drops. And if you to win those, let's see, what can I say? Oh, I'm drawing a complete blank. Sometimes my brain just goes dead. So sorry, y'all. It's been a long day. And a little bit anxious day with all this wind and stuff going on. Let's see. What can I question you all with? That'll be easy. Oh, Marianne's going good night. Good night, Marianne. Thank you for hanging out with us. Oh, how about this? What did I say that I ate right before the live? How about that? If you were watching earlier, what did I say that I ate right before the live? And you win these. This little package of 6 of these drops. Hopefully that's not too hard then. I just mentioned it real quick during my story time. Anybody know? What did I eat right before the live? I'm going to put EZZ13 away to make room. We've still got 2 of these left, I believe. And the first person to guess it was Vicky with cookies, question mark. That is true. I had cookies right before the live. Good job. Now, do you have a Norma? Yes, you do. You have a bag. Okay. What number are we on? Let's move these down. Still available. Still available. We sold 1 of 20. Thank you so much. We still got 2 of those available. Let's see. He says, I never forget a cookie. Nice. Nice. All right. Here's one that could go pretty well with 19. And I think people missed them the first time around too, because I still have 3 of the originals. It's these beautiful check glass beads. I think those could go really well together, right? Play with the purple colors. Would also be fun with like these metal spacers. I think those are beautiful together. Really brings out that purpley color. EZZ21, $18 for the strand. These are large check glass beads coming in at about 17 to 18 millimeters. Susan says, now I want cookies. Sigh. I know. That's the one thing we do have, thanks to Andrew. We've got cookies in this house. Not much else. Cat food and cookies. EZZ21. Is out. And ooh, I like these too. EZZ. I'm running out of room over here. EZZ22. And these are 14. And then we've got 3 of them available. I've just sold a 19 and a 21 together. Thank you. And I've sold a 21 by itself. Thank you. That means I've only got 1 of each of these left. 1 of each of these left, if you're interested. And for 22, we've got these, which nobody grabbed the first time around. I'm also saying this not like nobody grabbed any of these. I'm saying this so that you all know, because I know some of y'all grabbed a bunch of stuff and may not remember what all you grabbed, but I can tell you, like, nobody grabbed these before, unless we had another whole bag of them at some point, but or they got separated. But as far as I know, nobody grabbed any of these. 19 has just sold out. Thank you so much. So I'm going to put that away. Let me make sure I'm right. Yeah, 19, 19, 19. 3 of those sold. Thank you. Susan says, we've been living off Milano dark cookies this past week. Oh, those are so good. I haven't had those in a long time. Oh, I do love those though. Especially the dark. Right. Okay, 22. Suzanne says, I must not have seen that day. That's good. It's good you're liking these. These. Oh, we just sold the last 21 as well. Thank you so much. 21 is sold out. And we've just sold 16. Somebody maybe liked my idea of putting those together. That's what I do. I didn't take the tag. I was like, where's my tag? 16 is now sold out. So let me take that away. Thank you. Thank you. Easy order. Okay. And then I'm going to move this over here a little bit because I'm getting a little scattered. Okay. 22 are these. And I think these, again, they're similar in color to like these ones that people are loving. They don't have the red flash to them. They're not opalescent, but if you wanted a slightly lighter color, you can see they have that yellow, but they also have a slightly lighter color to them. So you might like those too. EZZ22, $14. And nobody grabbed those before that I'm aware of, unless, like I said, we had a whole nother batch of them, but this whole bag, there were 3, and we still have 3. And to give you an idea, these are approximately 12.5 millimeter. And this is the shape. Kind of like a faceted round, but also kind of like a pentagon. Okay, let me see if I can get this on here to stay like that. There we go. EZZ22. Okay, just sold one of those. Thank you. We have 2 of them still left. And that means it's giveaway time. Giveaway time. How about these? We have these on a special deal, $6. They're still available, but I'm going to give them away to you all. Susan said those are kind of like a matte finish quartz. Yeah, they are. Susan says I haven't had them in ages, and we polished off a pack earlier. Nice, nice. How about some S-word crystal drops? We had these at $6. We still have them. So they're a giveaway for y'all. They're probably worth more than $6 is my bet. S-word crystal drops. And let me see. The first person to, let's see, what can I do? Oh, it's so hard. Okay, just tell me the song that you are, what's the song you're listening to right now? What's your favorite song right now? How about that? I'm gonna refresh my screens. Make sure we're all caught up here. Okay. And the first person who got that is Michelle with Opalite. I guess I'm guessing that's a song. I'm hoping that's a song. That's funny. Suzanne just also chimed in with Opalite. It must be something I'm missing. Michelle and Suzanne are listening to the same favorite song right now. Michelle does not have a bag yet. So Michelle, let me make you a bag. By Taylor Swift. I thought so. I thought it was. I'm not a Swiftie. I do definitely admire her even more. I always did, but even more now that I've seen the Eras Tour videos or series. Susan said Disintegrate. Disintegrate by Suede. Nice. Diane's listening to the Avatar theme. Awesome. Okay. What's next? EZZ. EZZ23. I think we're going to stick with check glass. Y'all seem to be liking it. It seems like some of y'all missed some of this stuff or maybe maxed yourselves out before you got to it. This is $14. Vicky says, congrats, Michelle. Almost instant earrings, right? We only had one of these, and we apparently still have one of these. I don't know why, because this is such a beautiful color. It's a gray, large, faceted check glass. Only $14 for the strand. And it's kind of got that Givre look with multiple, it's got the clear sometimes through it. There we go. Get the light on it. Beautiful. It's got some chatoyance to it. I can't believe this one didn't sell the first time around. We'll see if it does today. $14. EZZ23. And these beads are approximately 15 and a half. Yeah, 15 and a half millimeters. One strand only. I think we only got one strand of this because we only had one strand before. So there it is. Norma says that's really unusual. And 23 just sold. So thank you so much. Unusual and sold out. And we'll go to EZZ24. We did sell one of the 22s, but we still have two of those available. We sold one of the 20s, but we still have two of those available as well. Okay. And we didn't sell any of these last time either. So EZZ20, that's a 24, y'all. That's a 24. Hopefully you can read that because my writing is not that easy. These are $18. They are table cut again, but they're this beautiful, deep kind of burgundy or Merlot glass with that Picasso finish. And they're corner drilled squares, table cut on both sides. I think these would look lovely with like African metals, carved bone. I'm trying to see if I have any. Well, I do. We sold the African metal beads that we just sold. They're here. Like this color, beautiful, and really look how much it pulls out the various colors in the metal. The patina is kind of in that metal just because it has that edge. Really pulls those out. That red color is beautiful with those. And then Let's see, let me make sure I get this back in order. And then if I have poorly, we also have this um, uh, Hill Tribe Silver. Look at that Hill Tribe Silver with that. Wouldn't that be pretty? Like just that with that. Oops. Let's try that again. Wrong way. There we go. Like, look how pretty that is together. Easy little necklace done up. If you have something like that. Uh, Surely I have carved bone in here somewhere. No, this is kind of the same color. It's kind of that same color. These are a nut bead. But look at that together. How that really brightens it up. Beautiful. All right. Put these back. Put these back. Susan says, I have these very pretty freshwater pearls too and quartz. We must have had 2 lots of those then, because I have 3 still available, and there were 3 in this bag from before. So 3 still available. Must have had 2 lots of those. It's possible. Or maybe you got them from somewhere else. That's also possible. They're so pretty, right? They're like a rounded square. And they are about 13 and a half, 13, yeah, about 13 and a half millimeters. EZZ 24. Okay, that means it's time for another giveaway. They would be really pretty with freshwater pearls. I don't have any, I don't know how I don't have any pearls. I probably do. I just have so much stuff here right now. Oh, I know what I did have. Where is it? Wait. Where are you? What bag were you in? How about like with these? Student says, or a sister strand. Could be, right? We could have had them more than once. Maybe Andrew and I both picked them out. That's a possibility. Look at this. This is this huge strand of peacock pearls. Look at how pretty that would be in between those. And that's a nice big strand, by the way. It's $118 if anybody's interested. I think the one I was thinking of, though, these. If you've got these, look how pretty. Oh, that coppery color, freshwater pearl. Stunning together. Really beautiful. So EZZ24. Okay, that's enough showing you stuff. Enough showing you that. You like them or you don't, right? You like them or you don't. Let's see, what do I got here? Everybody's getting quiet, or else my comments stopped on Facebook. Let's see. Everybody's getting quiet. Everybody's getting tired. I don't know how many people are watching. My thing doesn't tell me anymore. Um, let's see here. I have these. This whole lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of these large glass beads in this beautiful sunny sun color. Sunset, sunrise, no, amber color. Tell me, what is your favorite material to make jewelry with? What is your favorite material to make jewelry with? Okay. Let's see here. Person I see is Diane with glass. See, and these are glass. So you get it. And I don't think you have a bag yet. Not yet. So let me make a bag with your name. All right. And then we had Susan said wire. Michelle said thread. Thread. I would have thought seed beads, but I guess you need thread to use those seed beads, right? Yeah. Lots of people getting giveaways tonight. I like it. I like it. Everybody almost, I think a lot of people almost got at least one. EZZ25. Andrew says, I like working in silver. Of course you do. Oh, these are so pretty. 1, 2, 3. And yet none of them sold. How? Okay. This must have been a later show where everybody was already maxed out on check glass from this bag, because every time I pull out something from this bag, it's like nothing sold, nothing sold. And these are amazing. Look at these little drops of Jupiter right here. Beautiful, ambery looking jewel like drops. They're not really drops, but they look like liquid. They look like they would pop. They just burst if you squeeze them, right? So pretty. They are $10 only for a whole strand. They are about 15 millimeter beads by about 13 millimeter beads. And they are so pretty. Susan said it's kind of like amber, right? So pretty. It's EZZ25. EZZ25. EZZ26. Susie says it's really snowing. Everything is covered. They said there would be snow. I thought it wasn't supposed to start till about 11 o'clock tonight. Must have started early. It was going to sleet earlier, it said. Why does it have to do that, right? Why does it have to do that? EZZ26. I've got 3 of these available. They're $16 each. They're vintage check glass buttons. These beautiful, large dragonfly buttons in this beautiful green color with that gold metal backing to give you that gold look through it. It gives you that kind of ambery look or ambery flash with the silver dragonfly metal shank. Sorry, my phone is dying. I forgot to plug it in. Actually, I had my iPad plugged in, so let me plug in my phone. We just sold one of the 25s. Thank you so much. This button 26 is 30 millimeters. Nice big button. Could be used as a pendant, or you could use this as a loop toggle, right? To close a necklace, but use it on the front. Don't use it behind your neck. So use a loop to close it and use it around the front. Make it a decorative clasp or toggle, I guess, in the front of your necklace. EZZ26. Gertie and me are watching from our blanket fort, says Andrew. Oh boy, I thought you were making some dinner. What's going on? Susan says, I like snow when I don't have to go out in it. I hear that. Andrew said, temperature is dropping. Yes, it is. It's now down to 23. 23 right now. It's going to go down to 18 overnight. 18 overnight. Susan says, Andrew, that sounds great. Yeah. I'm kind of a little bit jealous. I'm not in the blanket fort right now. My feet are freezing in this room. It is cold in here. Okay, I'm going to put 20 away. Nobody grabbed 20. Well, yes, actually we sold one. We still have two of those left. Really pretty. $14 a strand only. It's a really good deal. And I'm going to put that over here. I'm going to put 22 away. 22. Did anybody grab a 22? We did sell 122. One of those. $14 only. And so we used to sell these with ribbon for wrap bracelets. Oh, that's nice. Yeah. Make a beautiful wrap bracelet with that button. Okay, 24 is there. We still have 4 25s available. And so far, we've not sold any of the buttons either. So we've got 3 of the 26 button available. That'd be really pretty with some of our side stitch silk. If you've grabbed any of our side stitch silk in that kind of lime, we have some in lime green. And we do have some also in that kind of yellow amber color. And that would be really pretty to make a beautiful little bracelet with. Andrew says if it makes you feel better, my feet are sticking out. I don't know if that makes me feel any better. I don't know. Okay. Susan says, I have a little roly-poly Phil next to me. And Anne says, I made a blanket for it for Daniel Tiger the other day. He was just scared of it. Disappointing. All right. Let's see here. We sell these for about $4 a piece. This is a nice little pendant. It's Mangano calcite. Mangano calcite. And it's this wavy disc kind of bead, wavy oval. And it's a beautiful soft pink color. I don't know if you can see that. The camera takes away a lot of the pink, but it's a beautiful, really soft pink color. This is a giveaway. In order to win this, first person to tell me what their favorite TV show is right now wins it. Favorite TV show? Andrew says, Gertie is purring so hard. That little thing. And first is Susan with Curse of Oak Island. So that goes in Susan's bag. Thank you. All right. EZZ27. Andrew says she keeps trying to touch the phone and report comments. That's cute. Who you reporting, Gertie? Who you reporting? Okay. EZZ27. All right. We still have one of these left. We did sell one before. This is the complement to 20. But these are red, so they're a little more expensive. Instead of $14, they're $20. You know, red glass, often vintage costs more. These are the red squares with the offset centers, red glass, recessed centers. One strand left. It was $20 back then. It's still $20 for you all today. This is one of my all-time favorite strands that we picked out. This with the black together. I picked them out together because I love them so much. And I was going to make, this was EZ20. So just so you can see, like these two together, amazing. I was thinking about making a bracelet with one of each. Like using alternating colors in there, doing a red, black, red, black, red, black, or something like that is what I was going to do. But I think, I don't know if I can show you as a bracelet. I don't know if I can get it on around my finger, but isn't it pretty? I think that would be really cool. And I think that could be cool for men's jewelry too. If you're doing something like that, especially the black, but I think the red too. I mean, we don't like to gender things here too much, but I know some people are very careful about that in when they make things. And I think that could be, both of those could be really cool for that. So anyway, I might still get to if we don't sell 27. Anders says, maybe because I keep touching my phone to type. She wants your attention. That's why. Susan says these check glass squares are so cool, right? Michelle says, Susan, do you love all those beads they keep finding? All right, EZZ28. Let's see. EZZ28. $6. I only have one of these left. Susan says, yes, Michelle. Are these vintage check kind of a pearlescent. They've got that red flash again, but they're in this kind of lighter green color. And you know what that usually means? They glow under a black light. So not only do they have that red pearlescent kind of flash to them, but they also glow under a black light. And this strand is $6, and they are approximately 9mm beads. Only one left. EZZ 28. Okay. And then giveaway time. How about this? This is a nice giveaway coming to the end of the night. We've just sold 28, so I'm going to put that away so we don't tease anybody else. 28 is sold. 24, 25, 26, and 27 are still available. This is, I think, a nice giveaway. Almost the last giveaway of the night. We'll have one more after 30. We have this dichroic glass pendant, the glue-on bell. Beautiful pendant. Andrew says, did you get those from my stash? No, I did not get anything from your stash. Your stash is still intact. I'm pulling all from the bag. All right. So this pendant, in order to win, let's see, let me think. I don't know. I'm like blanking out. Andrew, give me a question. Give me a question, Andrew. Let's see. I've asked about food. I've asked about color. I've asked about let's this takes longer than anything else to come up with a question. Tell me your favorite book right now. I don't think I've done that one, at least not today. Tell me your favorite book right now. Doesn't have to be the one you're reading, just your favorite book. Oh, there's Andrew's question. Sorry, I already came up with one. But it was book related. How about that? On the same wavelength. And Susan says Gallery of Rogues by Beth Lincoln. All right. That's Susan's. Thank you so much. Michelle had Twilight. Norma says Outlander. Oh, yeah. Norma likes the Outlander. We know that, right? Michelle says that's the last book I read. And it's your favorite? Nice. Let's see here. EZZ20. Oops. I just did 28. EZZ. It's like I can't write anymore. EZZ29. Wow. Okay. My handwriting's going down the tubes, y'all. These are $8 each, and there are 2 available. These are really pretty. They're this beautiful, I don't know if these glow. Are these glow? These also glow under a black light. But you know what these would also go really well with, I think, is this button. Look at those together. They're a nice size for that button. And I love how there are like these striations through the glass. You see those? Like almost like stone. And it kind of mimics the rings around this outer part of the button. I don't know. I think that's really cool. So EZZ29, there's 2 of them available. These beads are approximately, I'll catch their widest point at about 13 millimeters wide by 20 millimeters tall. And this is their shape. EZZ29. 2 of them available. And what should I finish off tonight with? Somebody tell me a color you want. Maybe somebody tell me a color you're looking for. Susan says they're like lemon drops. They are like lemon drops, aren't they? Anybody looking for a color I didn't do tonight? Find you a color. Susan says red. More red? Let me see what I've got. Red in check glass is not always easy. It's not always easy. Or multiple. How about multicolor? Multicolor. Let's see. Okay. Not multicolored. That's kind of multicolor. Do these. EZZ30. This is $12. There's only one left. Somebody take it off of our hands, please. Multicolor, semi-large, medium size, check glass beads. You get them in this amber color, and this green, and this kind of darker amber with a finish. Almost a brown red color. It's like a garnet. Beautiful beads. They look like stones, right? And they are about 15 millimeters by 13 and a half. EZZ30. 1 strand left at $12. Pretty big beads for $12. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15 beads on the strand, less than $1 a bead. Great deal for that size. All right, that's the end of the selling lots. Let's go ahead and check out the last giveaway. About these. Last giveaway are these check glass beads. Multicolor also. These would like go really well, actually, I think, with those. Look at that. Look at those. I didn't even plan that. We just sold 30. Thank you so much. And this is the giveaway. For this giveaway, tell me your favorite radio station. What's your favorite radio station? And let's see, these are about 15 millimeter squares. Susan says WUNC. WUNC. Susan wins these. Let's do another giveaway. How about that? Let's do another giveaway. One more. Let's keep going a little bit. One more. Let's do, what do I got here? I like doing these giveaways, y'all. Can't give everything away, but how about these? How about these? Red, white, and blue. Check glass drops. And Andrew is a good question. Andrew mentioned adding something to the Patreon. What did he add to the Patreon? Anybody wants to win these? More check glass, beautiful check glass drop beads. They are drilled through the top. Really pretty red, white, and blue combo that we put together. 2 of each. That's 3 great little pairs of earrings. Michelle said peyote stitch. Is that right, Andrew? Was it a peyote stitch? I was thinking something else, but I could be wrong. Wait for Andrew to answer because he's got the answer to that. Norma said brick stitch. Andrew said no, but technically you could do it in peyote. I think it's brick, right? I think Norma got it. If I remember correctly, it's brick stitch. Brick stitch pattern. Yes, I just saw. Brick stitch pattern. Norma wins. Thank you, Norma. You're very close, Michelle, but not quite. Says okay, a beating pattern. Yes, you could have gotten away with that. You could have gotten away with a beating pattern, and that would have been, I would have accepted that. And Norma got in there with the correct beating pattern, brick stitch. All right, y'all. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us tonight. All of our regular friends and new friends, thank you for being here. We really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed it. And we will see you back here tomorrow with something else. All right. Have an amazing, amazing evening. I hope you all had fun tonight. I certainly did. It was nice to hang out with you all again. It's always nice to see y'all. If you have any questions, please send us an email. And these will be up for grabs at least until tomorrow, probably for a day or two. If you are watching this in the repeat, you always get a few days before we take them out of the bags or separate them out. So you get a few days. So if you're watching the repeat or watching a replay, please continue to send us an email if you'd like to buy anything. All right. Thank you all. Have a great one. We'll see you here tomorrow. Sweet dreams, everybody. Bye now.